But anyway, here we go, guys. We're a little later than usual. Now, don't worry about that, okay? Don't worry about that at all. It's just normal, and in fact, this is going to be the normal time. In fact, tea time is now going to be at 6 UK time, but like plus or minus 2 hours, right? So we're really going to keep you guys guessing, right? You're going to just randomly appear, and you just have to enjoy that. It's going to keep you guys on your toes. It's going to make it more entertaining for us, and we're just going to meme on you really hard. But here we go, and well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the moment we've all been waiting for, right? It's episode 6, okay? The epic conclusion to season 4, right? Season 4 of the Living... Yeah, I know what's going on, guys. Okay, I know. I'm on point today. Of the Living Story is arriving this Tuesday, War Eternal. Okay, what is going to happen? Okay, like there's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of predictions, okay, that have been going down. But what else is coming with it? And there's that, and what does the future hold for Guild Wars 2? Right, this is a really important episode, and to be honest, I am far more excited, okay, about what could potentially be hinted at, exposed, leaked, shown off, teased. In this episode than the actual story itself. The story, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm sure it's gonna be fine, right? It's gonna be all right. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the story. It'll be all right. But the big question, big question, okay, is will it just be the story, okay, or will we even have any of this stuff? What's going on there? And I think we'll just open it up there. So, what do you guys expect from this patch, right? Am I too optimistic here? Are we going to see anything, or are my hopes going to be dashed, okay, onto the rocks where they belong?
Well, based on their previous track record, the only things I would expect are the things that they specifically mentioned in writing in the trailer, and because that's all they've been delivering pretty much in every patch is exactly what it says. If it says new fractal, you're getting a new fractal. If it says new fractal, don't expect a raid 2, because all you're going to get is what they said. So I think, what did they say? Greatsword, some story, and an upgradable armor set,
and a new map.
Yeah, so pin your hope and a mount. Okay.
Right, so, yeah, and they call it a mastery, I guess, because it's a mastery line, but it's a mount.
Okay. So nothing. You don't think we're going to see anything about season 5 or a potential expansion or anything like that, or are they going to join it together, or are they going to kind of are they just going to drop it? Right? Is it just going to lay it down and say, "Yep, that's the end"? Okay, stay tuned for the next exciting season, the next exciting episode of Guild Wars 2. How is it? Is there going to be a join or not? Or are they just going to have it as almost like separate entities? Because in a way that you could even say this is something you could criticize about the Living Story, right? Like, I think this is one of the criticisms that have been leveled at it, right? If you haven't played some of the seasons before this, right, and you come into the game late, it doesn't really make any sense. Do you think they're going to try and make it so each season is almost independent of the previous, right? So you can play through it, right, and then it's separate. It's completely separate to all the other ones. So if you've only played the most recent one, or you just hop in and it makes sense, right? It makes sense on its own. That sort of thing.
I think that's probably the way to do it, just because I don't mean to be insulting, but the time scale of like 3 different seasons means you can't tell like an epic story that spans multiple seasons, because you'll forget the stuff that happened 2 seasons ago because it was 4 years ago. Like you can, like Game of Thrones can pull that off because you can just go like easily rewatch it or whatever. But I don't think that they have the storytelling capability to tell a multi-season story effectively.
Yeah, that is, of course, a really big problem, right? And you even see this between episodes in a way. I mean, perhaps I'm not attentive enough, but sometimes I kind of go like, wait, what happened 2 episodes ago? I can't quite remember. You know, I've forgotten a few of these episodes, to be honest, because it's been a very long time. You know, you realistically between episodes. You know, it's 3 months, 3 to 4 months, and it's, you know, I imagine, you know, Game of Thrones already, you know, some storylines are kind of fading off into the distance, but I think nobody will be able to remember Game of Thrones very well if you had to wait 3 months, right, between episodes, right? That would be it would be quite the wait. It would take even longer than it already does to get stuff done. You know what? They even, you know, if they waited 3 months between episodes for Game of Thrones, they might actually be able to get away with waiting for the book. They probably have enough time to wait for them to finish it, you know. But that would probably be the only way. Then it's a big thing with Guild Wars 2 as well, right? But well, I do fear that your perspective here is realistic, and we're going to get exactly what is labeled, exactly what's on the tin, you know. And I'm looking forward to climbing up the wall with that sky scale, you know, just leaping all over the place, going crazy. It's going to be good, you know. It's going to be fun, you know? And yeah, there you go. And we have the raid to look forward to a little bit after as well, of course. Don't forget that, guys. Although it's not technically part of the Living Story release, the raid is coming very shortly. Okay, and it will, well, we'll have to see where that goes as well, and well, potentially for the future of raiding in Guild Wars 2. It's certainly difficult to say. But you know, when do you guys expect the raid after this? You know, is it going to be 2 weeks? Is it going to be a month afterwards? You know, and what's going to be the context of the raid as well? Because it seems that it's, I don't think they're going to tie it to the story again, because that, well, you know, the nerds don't like that. Okay, you're not allowed to do that. So it's very much going to be its own separate thing, and well, with Kadim as well. Like, there was a Reddit post, actually, a Reddit comment saying that it's going to be kind of the conclusion, okay, the conclusion of the Kadim story, or at least the continuation of it.
A dev said that?
I believe so, yeah. I think so.
Because I mean, they still have the whole Underworld story to conclude as well. So I'm kind of.
I think they forgot.
Like Desmina's there doing whatever. Like, there's something going on. Like, I don't know.
Well,
they could touch on that.
I mean, I guess I think they probably want us to give them the benefit of the doubt there, right? Like, it kind of is finished, right? You know, Desmina's just taken over. She's not exactly evil, I guess. I mean, do we really know what she really is? I mean, she's kind of like the like Grenth's right hand woman kind of thing going on there, just doing a thing. Maybe Underworld Wing 8. Well, I mean, Wing 8.
I'm sorry, there's not gonna be a wing.
Wing 8. I mean, you know what? This is a really interesting topic, and it's perhaps something worth talking about here. Seeing as this is very much a milestone. This is a line in the sand. You know, a big rock, a big marker in Guild Wars 2 history, this end of this season here. And, you know, we're and of course, after this season, into Season 5 and the future, we're going to start seeing the effects of the restructuring of ArenaNet, the company, right? We're going to start seeing some actual changes coming through in probably 3 to 6 months, that sort of thing, is when we, you know, those, you know, we're actually going to start seeing the effects of what that process did to ArenaNet. And well, the type of future content we're going to experience, we're going to get, is, well, it's a little bit in question right now, and perhaps this is where communication will really come in, and hopefully that will happen with the raid, right? Hopefully we get communication with the raid wing, and the developers say, hey, you know, we're going to do another raid wing, or we aren't going to do another raid wing, because I don't know. I think that Brazil was right. I mean, I got to hand it to him. Like, Brazil actually called this. He said there will be no. He'll say that he said that the Wing 7 will be the last wing. There will never be Wing 8. He did actually say that, and I am a little bit inclined to agree at this point.
Really, you think they're just going to drop raids?
Well, they did say that this was the last Path of Fire raid, I believe. So that means no raids with Season 5? Like, okay.
I mean, if that's true,
that's a long time.
Really,
like, if there's not going to be another raid wing until the next X Pack, okay, that's like 2 years from now. So, I mean,
yikes.
You can release a raid then, but no one will be here to play it. So that'll be that.
Well, I mean, I mean that comment there though. I mean, like, are there really that many people to play it right now? I think the raiding scene is just decayed, right? It's just rotted away into obscurity at this point. You know, like this just the downtime is so extreme, right? With no real information on when this stuff is coming, right? Like the community is just left, right? Like the raid scene is kind of decapitated at this point. So in a way, like haven't they've kind of they've fulfilled the prophecy that they themselves made, right? Like it's like, oh, hey, look, raids. It doesn't really fit with Guild Wars 2, but you know, like they just don't make any raids for 8 months, so everyone quits. Like, oh, no one's playing raids. See, look, it doesn't work in Guild Wars 2. Like we shouldn't make any more, right? But you know,
yeah. I mean, they let it die on the vine. Like it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
it sucks, right? It really does suck, and you know, it's in a way. Perhaps we'd all be happier if they just did actually stop making raids, right? Because then like you won't get drawn back into the game, right? You won't lure you back in after this, because as it stands right now, you know, one raid a year or one raid every 9 months, whatever it's going to be, it really isn't enough. You know, like when it comes to PvE content, and just PvE in general in an MMO, in any game really, right? Like to keep the game fresh, it has to be continuously developed, right? You keep having to adding more and more and more and more and more. This is, you know, how old school games, particularly old school MMOs, operate. But what are you, 3 bosses every 9 months? I mean, that, you know, every year. Let's be honest here, okay? It's not going to cut it, right? Every 8 to 10 months, or whatever. It's nowhere near enough to keep any kind of community going. And community is key with MMOs, right? Like it's a multiplayer game, and when these communities die and decay, then the game modes can't sustain themselves, right? You know, it just seems that I see raids being the same as fractal CMs, right? And it is worth noting that they haven't officially said they've cancelled fractal CMs, right? There's no official statement saying we're never going to get another CM. I think there was
Myko's just waiting for Ben to pitch him a good idea.
Yeah.
Whenever Ben does that, he'll green light another fractal CM.
I of course I saw that, you know, we're all familiar with that comment, I think.
Fortunately, Ben will be pitching the fractal CM ideas to Minecraft.
To the Minecraft CM, dude. That's what's going to be cropping up.
Hey, Minecraft has RTX, man.
Does it really?
It's all the it's all the rage right now.
Wow.
The water's got reflections.
Oh yeah, man, RTX enabled Minecraft. What a time to be alive! Actually, that's crazy. So when you buy your new RTX Titan, right, that you know what to use it on now, Minecraft.
Yeah, it's not real RTX, but yeah, it's.
Oh, okay. Not real RTX? Wow. I mean, they need to get on that, dude. Like, if they don't get on that, what are they doing? You know, what are they doing? What a waste.
Honestly, like, one thing they could do to combat, like, the decaying community would be to develop, like, a new endgame content type that's, like, built for solo players. Like, it could still be hardcore and challenging, but it's just tuned for a solo player experience. And I mean, that could be something that would at least keep people busy.
Queen's Gauntlet, something like that then? Queen's Gauntlet?
Yeah. But like, you could even make a story and put high production value around it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
that way you could get one boss every 3 months.
Yeah. Well, you know, they
need an endgame content where you can log in, immediately start playing, get decent rewards, play for like 2 hours, and log out. And you never have to sit there waiting to form a group or waiting to do this or switching this build around. Like you can just play. And I think there's a lot of...
This way, you don't need to make friends or
find
the guild people
the whole
or any
guild functionality in the game is worthless anyway. Like there's almost no reason to have a guild in the game.
Yeah, well, and just look at the way the living story is, right? Like the living story doesn't really require player interaction, right? You just solo it, right? It's effectively solo content. You could play it with 5 people if you wanted to.
It's sort of made to be that way.
Look,
for the most part.
I could almost guarantee, okay, that when I play through the story on Tuesday, I'm going to be thinking, damn, ArenaNet should really make a single player game. You know, seriously, it's wow, this is great. You know, I bet it will be a lot of fun to play through. And I'm sure it will be quite the spectacle, right? I'm sure there's going to be loads of effects all over the place, like epic battles. Well, potentially not epic battles, actually. I'm really not sure where they're going with this, and this is something we should talk about a little later, perhaps. I'm really not certain what's going to happen in this episode. I'm not sure if I'm
pretty
worried.
Sure, and this is a bit frustrating, but I'm pretty sure that we'll have some form of resurrection of Arene. Her spirit or whatever, we're going to have some sort of like mini... I don't want to say that she'll fully be back to the way she was, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to be like, haha, she's in the mist.
Well, that's
Obi-Wan Kenobi
I
talk
called
to
that
her.
at the end of the last episode. I'm like, well,
yeah,
she'll be back. Like,
but don't you think that's... They had this whole discussion of making character death matter. That's like the opposite of mattering to me. If you just kill a character, but then you can talk to them through the Force or the mists or whatever the hell they want to spin it off as, then the death doesn't matter, because what is the quote what is the quote they use? Like, death is only the beginning, or something like that, right?
well, not everyone's a lich, so that might only work with Arene.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think that I kind of don't want to believe that, and in a way, my evidence of why that wouldn't happen is because, look, I'm bringing it back, boys. Okay, I went to a panel that ArenaNet did at EGX Res in London, guys. Okay, and they were talking about meaningful character deaths, okay, and how you kill a well-loved character. If they bring back Aurene, okay, in literally the next episode, which chronologically would be like half an hour to an hour away, if you think about it, right? Like, you're playing through the story, okay? Episode 5, episode 6. I'm back, guys. Come on, man. Like, if you'd played through it instantly, right? It's like 30 minutes later gameplay.
You have a good summer vacation. I sure did.
Yeah, and just think about it. Like, look, if you do a talk about meaningful character death, okay, and then you bring them back the next episode, that doesn't count, guys. That's not how it works. Hey, come on. Let's talk about this, guys, okay? Matrix. Okay, what happens in the Matrix? Trinity, she dies like every fucking movie, right? And she's back. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. Then you just kill her again. Okay, well, there we go. Maybe they're doing that. But either way, I don't want to believe that that's the case. Of course, the thing that scares me, right, is that it is very foreshadowed, right? You know, the lich thing is like, Joker's kind of a bit of the immortal kind of meme. Aurene just chomped on him. I mean, it's like, I don't even know, dude. I don't even know.
What if they made Timey like Kenny from South Park? They just kill Timey every episode.
Yeah,
that would be great.
We just keep doing it. It's good.
I mean, eventually Timey's going to die, right? They've been leading up to this. Or is Timey going to get like some bullshit?
She didn't look so good in that trailer. Super sad, maybe a little sick. I don't know. She was looking a little... She was looking a little tiny Asura there.
Yeah. It's actually some really... The cutscene, just as an aside, is really cool stuff, actually. I really like the style they've taken there, like using the in-game character models and making custom animations for them. I hopefully they can keep that sort of thing up, actually. And when they do that sort of thing in the game, I think it's really, really sick, actually, as well. Like, they sometimes have some really custom animations.
Yeah, I thought the trailer was really well done.
Yeah, it absolutely was. But the biggest question for me is like whether Aurene is coming back or not. Is where would that happen, right? Because I'm kind of feeling that they want to join these two series together, right? Okay, so the two seasons rather. Okay, so season 4 and season 5 are going to be a conjoined thing, right? Because it's Path of Fire, right? There was always going to be season 5 immediately after season 4 with no expansion in between, right? Which is kind of breaking the trend. So the question is, do you guys think that there is going to be any continuity between these two, or is it going to be a separate story that finishes and then begins? Because my initial thoughts about episode 6 was actually going to be kind of like, oh man, we kind of lost, right? And then maybe you have the resurrection at the end, right? And then Kralkatorrik is still the big bad. He's the big bad for season 5, right, before we move on to new things, because that to me would make sense given the kind of plan that would seem to have been there for ArenaNet. Or do you think we're just like, bam, we're done here, move on, next enemy, let's go to Cantha, boys. Okay, let's get that fan service in there, let's get in the mix, right? Let's start going crazy. Right, what's going on there?
Well, they could, like you said, they could go. It would make sense to have it be tied together, but I also think with it's hard to know how far in advance they have like the meta plot like planned out, because if, especially with the restructuring, maybe they want a clean break. Then again, if this was all planned out 3 years ago, then it could very likely be continued from season 4. I don't know. I kind of get the feeling that they want to write villains that have a personality, because that's a lot more interesting storytelling. So maybe it's best to get the dragon thing just finally over with after 8 years.
Yeah, now this is something. Hindsight is, of course, 2020. I can certainly see why they thought this was a good idea, but having your grand villains in your game being basically like a force of nature, like an earthquake or like a tornado, was maybe not the best idea. I can see how it sounded cool. Like, oh yeah, dude, like the dragon, he's the aspect of death, man. Or, you know, more of he's a fucking tree. He's a big tree. He's all under the earth. You know, wow, incredible. Like, so scary. But it didn't really work out in practice, right? Like, they're not really that scary. They're not even that interesting. They're very boring and, you know, very forgettable villains, because they're not even really villains, you know. And well, yeah, getting rid of the dragons would be pretty good, right? So we can move on to something else with a, you know, a bit more spice, you know, like stuff like Joko is kind of where you can actually have a really interesting character, because, you know, you know, they're really evil. There's also that little bit of comedy in there, and I kind of feel like that almost suits Guild Wars 2. Or rather, the Guild Wars franchise in general. Like, in Guild Wars 1, it was always a bit like this. It was always a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit didn't take itself very seriously, right, in terms of the story. You know, it was always a bit of a meme with a lot of the way the characters interacted with each other. So it'll be good, you know. Like, we can.
I figure there's gonna be a cliffhanger, because there's always a cliffhanger, right? That's what I assume anyway. I would hope there would be some continuity, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure we just kill Krakatoric or sing him a lullaby and put him to sleep, or whatever. Who knows? Timey's not
Ministry
really
of Purity gunships show up and blow Krakatoric out of the sky with their high-tech lasers and shit, because they've had like...
Zojja wakes up and has invented a new laser, because it's been like 4 months, and she shoots him out of the mist.
Yeah, it was good.
The end.
Oh. Speaking of, that's a good calling, though. Do you remember when Timey just randomly invented a machine to beat 2 elder dragons immediately?
Yeah, Goric has sort of taken over for her now, though, right?
Is Goric like the other Asura who's like a pessimist?
The bug,
See, that's how bad the storytelling is in certain aspects, is that I don't know that character's name. I don't remember when he joined our crew. He's just like around now, and he's kind of like unlikable. He's got like a negative Nancy personality, and I'm just like, I don't want this guy around. Get him the fuck out of here if he's going to be like that. It's just, I don't know. That I should at least know when he joined the story and why, and I don't remember that at all.
Episode.
It was the roller beetle one, right?
In the middle.
Yeah, in the middle.
It was the one where they go to Rata Primus, or whatever it was called, the big cube in the middle of the map.
Oh. Yeah.
Because he's in the basement with his golem brother, and you find them at the end as the place is blowing up.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if we're gonna find
Episode 2, people are saying. Okay.
Are we gonna?
I thought it was maybe episode 3, but whatever.
The whole Blish meme. I mean, is that? I wonder if that's gonna come back here. You know, I mean, because we know that Timey is kind of deteriorating. Actually, I don't know what's happening. She's shriveling up a little bit. You know, maybe that's not for this. I imagine. Could this happen in this episode? That would be a little bit too soon, right? It's so difficult to say, though, because in Guild Wars 2, things move fast, right? I was expecting Joker. Well, initially, I thought, dude, Joker is going to be the villain for this season, right? It's going to be, big, epic
Yeah, and then they
final
just
confrontation.
They
But
just
then,
kill them off like
he's
super
dead.
quick.
He's gone. And this is why I think your theory there, Inks, about Kralkatorrik getting wrecked here, it has a lot of credence to it, because it would make sense that they would, have they would really kind of let the story ebb and flow and go from a really high point and have a bit of a
It's not
down
really
point.
what I want, to be honest. I don't think. I think Guild Wars. I think ArenaNet in general tends to just do things a bit too suddenly a lot of the times. Killing Kralkatorrik should be, and I've said this before, it should be at minimum like a triple trouble fight open world. They're never going to do a raid fight the way it actually should be done. Kralkatorrik should be a raid encounter, but they're never going to do that because everybody needs to kill him, and you'll probably just kill him in the personal story, which is kind of lame. But he should be at least like a Mordramoth type fight, where you have an open world event and you have a story where you go inside his mind or his stomach or whatever the hell. But I think it's just going to be in the story, and it just doesn't feel impactful when you 1v1 a dragon and poke him in the eye or whatever the hell you do.
Yeah. You have to the role play fact, the RPG aspect kind of falls a little bit short there, right? When you 1v1 one of the most powerful being in existence, it's good. That's good.
I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's Volume 2 the other day.
Yeah.
Where Drax goes inside the creature's mouth and he's just stabbing the insides. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Are you sure it's not gonna be kind of an Ant-Man situation? And you go inside Kralkatorrik and then
we got to use our embiggening tonic.
Yeah. So you go in Kralkatorrik and then activate the embiggening tonic and blow him up from within. That's it's gonna be good. That's a spoiler, by the way, guys. Ant-Man. That's how Ant-Man beats Thanos. Just saying.
Right up the dick hole.
Ouch.
Of course, that is not actually a spoiler, guys. Just so you know. I mean, that would be a little ridiculous there.
Yeah, Disney wouldn't put their stamp on that.
No, that would be a bit of a Shrek is love, Shrek is life situation. That would be maybe not exactly tolerated there by reading it. Oh, I don't know. The story is a mysterious beast, and it's very difficult to. I think it's quite difficult to predict how fast or how slow it's going to go. It's I certainly didn't see the Joko death coming, and maybe this is why. Is it now? It's a bit like Game of Thrones, right? Like Game of Thrones. We're bringing this up again, guys. It's so subversive. It's not subversive anymore now. Now you kind of can predict Game of Thrones. Well, you can just predict what's the worst possible right now. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go that far. Okay, kind of. Yeah. Okay, no, that was too big meme, guys. Okay, big meme. Okay, but it's become so subversive. It's predictable now. Maybe Guild Wars, so you just expect everything to die instantly, right? It's like, oh well, there we go. Moving on. We got to get some pace going on, lads. Okay, we got to get some pace. I mean, I don't mind the pace, but I think there is some time for some development here as well, and. The new map, guys. The new map. Okay. Can someone please remind me what team is developing this map? Which team is it?
Hopefully not the team that did Lake Doric and the other bad map.
It's Team 3. It's Team 3. That's what it is, guys. Okay? It's Bitterfrost team. Okay? It's Team Clown. Okay? That's what it is. Now, hopefully, they are here to redeem themselves. Okay? They're here to redeem themselves. They're going to start going crazy. They're responsible
this
for
is the team
Bitterfrost.
that gets to launch new mounts, apparently.
This is like the Corner team and Bitterfrost team, okay? So, I mean...
Sadly, not a good track record for finishing.
So, if Bitterfrost didn't have, OP Ascended Accessory Farm, built into it...
Nobody would go there.
It would be worse than Corna. Yeah. In a lot of ways.
And that is where we talk about Corner and the meta event. Okay, are we going to get a proper, legit meta? That's the question here. Okay, what are we dealing with here? What's it going to be? Is it going to be just a map with just some memes on it and some hearts? I mean, oh wow! I mean, Inks, I know you love hearts, right? Are you ready for some hearts, dude? You want to get on that action? Some of those heart quests.
I'm kind of worn out on the hearts, especially the repeatable. It's funny, when we first got repeatable hearts, I was like, what a great idea, because now you can repeat. But then, like 17 maps later, you're like, I really don't ever want to see another repeatable heart again in my life.
If the hearts actually, like, the only reason to do the hearts is to get the currency to get whatever you're going for. If the hearts like had some meaningful,
we need to see some heart innovation, because
I think we can be done with hearts.
Yeah. What's really funny was way back 2011. I think it was probably 2011 or so. They had very early beta tests or alpha tests where there weren't any hearts. It was just points of interest, and you would go to a point of interest, and basically events would kick off in and around those points. But players complained because they had no direction. They didn't know where to go.
I remember
they were just like,
yeah.
Where are the quests? I don't know what to do. And so they're like, okay, well, let's add some hearts, which are just supposed to be a bit of time fillers and sort of direct you. By doing the heart, you should see other events happening, and then you should run off and do those events. And that was great at the time, but I don't know that it's aged exactly as they wanted it to originally.
I mean, if anything, it's the event system that's kind of, or the original conception of the event system that hasn't aged super well. Like, hearts are still kind of doing what they initially were meant to do, maybe even a little bit more, but the initial idea was that, like, you were just like roaming around, you see an event, you complete it, it chains into the next event, which chains into the next event, which chains into a world boss or the map boss or whatever. And like at first, the first event you do, you'd probably do it with like one or two other people, and then the next event, like the events would be forking together, so then you'd have like 10 people, and then by the time you got to the boss, you'd have like half the map there. But that was like true for maybe one or two maps in the whole game. And then they actually kind of backed away from that and made a lot of the world bosses spawn whether you did the pre-events or not, which completely
that shut it down.
Like,
now you just I mean I'm guilty
of
this
AFK
too.
At the spawn
that's how you play it, right? I mean, that's what's, and this is the AFK week, right? The boss week, that's what's been going on. You just wait there, you AFK, and then you just keep going. You just port to the next one. Kill the boss, and then just
somebody in Matt chat says, "Is somebody doing the pre?"
Yeah,
and everybody just laughs and says, "No,
of course not. Of course not.
You go do the pre. I'm waiting. I'm AFKing here."
Now, I do want to believe though that there's going to be some kind of big event. Like I'm ready for it. I think it will be awesome. It may be something that's suitably epic as well. Some kind of clash with Kralkatorik's minions, the new map. There's a huge battle. All of our armies are going crazy, but I don't know. I'm really not sure if I see anything like that, because I'm not sure how much of an action-packed episode this is actually going to be. It really depends if we're going to kill Kralkatorik, right? Like, if we're actually going to go in for the final kill, then I think we actually have some chance of seeing a proper map with a hell of a lot of action, some big action, and there's going to be hopefully some kind of big meta event, some kind of big chain. We know there's a new set of armor, right? Potentially some of these, this meta event could be tied into that. You could be farming this to get that armor and keep that going. This new mist forged armor. Now it would kind of fit with that theme as well to have a meta event here, because it's to do with the mists, right? So potentially we're getting something with Glint's army as well. That's something that's been theorized, that we're going to be doing battle with that kind of spooky army that we've got going on there. All our all our allies are here together, engaged in this kind of epic mist war, this interdimensional meme war that we've got going on there. And that would be really good. If it's 10 times harder than Triple Trouble, that'll be nice. Okay, very good. I don't think it will be hard though. No matter what, it's going to be really face roll, right? That's that's just Guild Wars 2, right? So I'm not.
It doesn't have to be, but I assume it will be.
Yeah. I think it does have to be though, because think how triggered people will be if you have if you lock an armor set that's kind of got some cool effects on it. Then I mean, come on, it's not going to go down well. Right? It's just not going to work.
If there is a meta event, there's like a way where one portion of the map can do their thing really, really fast and screw over the other portions of the map. That's the sort of thing that I would
That's
personally
you.
be interested
Yeah,
in.
that's what you enjoy now. Is that
Yeah, that would be something that might intrigue me. I would raise an eyebrow to that.
Okay,
and look into it.
Are you still getting in on that action?
I think what's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is Kralkatorg will be behind a big wall, and there'll be 4 doors that crystallize, and you got to do different events at each door and destroy the doors at the same time.
Oh,
and then you get into Kralkatorg.
So it's
you get into his
Octovine.
belly.
It's basically Octovine.
Oh, or a Dragon Stand. Yeah.
Dragon
They
Stand?
could just copy paste Dragon Stand, but just change the dragon at the end.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That would be
okay. So it's kind of like, you just make him a crystalline little worm instead of the like earthy worm that he is. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You have to spend 1,000 gems to buy a special pickaxe, and everybody has to pick it.
Otherwise you can't get through.
Or use their war claws.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta use your war claw in PvE to break the door down.
Well, people were complaining that it was it's useless, right? So there you go. Now you need the war claw. Well, I know Arena are quite fond of events with lanes, right? Silver wastes. And hey, maybe Arena are finally given in, right? Because what do people always say when they complain about the events in Guild Wars 2? They say, "Damn, dude, it's a good event, but it's not silver waste, is it?" They really want those silver wastes back, and could they have acted on that feedback? Let's just think about this logically, guys, with our big brains, okay? This episode has probably been in development for how long, right? For how long do you think this has been in development for? Probably at least 6 months, right?
Yeah, because
more than 6 months.
They do every 3 episodes, per team. So
it could be potentially 9 months.
9 to 12, yeah.
Yeah. So that is... They could easily have acted on the POF bashing then, right? Like, people have not been the biggest fan of how the POF events are, how the some of the current living story maps, the living story maps have not been that well received, right? Let's be honest here, in terms of the event design on them. So they could have actually taken that on board and developed this entire episode, the map for it at least, with that in mind. And created something perhaps a little more epic, with a little bit more meat to it, a little bit more farm, and one that doesn't fizzle out, halfway through, where you just like smash some canisters and there you go. That's all you're seeing of the Moon City, guys. That's gonna be it, okay? The Moon Fortress.
Yeah, like a door with an Asura behind it.
Yeah,
is like the end boss of the map.
That's the end boss. Yeah. I'm not saying. I don't think that's gonna happen again, guys. Let's put it like that. I think they've learned their lesson, and maybe we will actually see some action on that. I mean, I think with that time scale, with the 9-month time scale, it's entirely possible that the feedback has been acted on. We're going to see a big proper event that people have been kind of craving. And it's bizarre to me that Arena ever moved away from this. Like, I understand that trying new things is obviously good, and experimenting and trying out ideas is great. But, to a certain extent, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like, what maps are people still playing? They're still playing Silver Wastes. They're still playing Octovine. They're still one-birding the Octovine, okay? They're still playing Chat Garen, and even Dragon Stand, right? Now, and this is why I honestly think that ArenaNet sometimes...
I will say...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Well, if I can interrupt.
Yeah.
Dragon Stand is only still played because of Crystalline Ore. That's literally the only reason it still gets played. I don't think the rewards are just... Like... If all you cared about was the rewards, you would just go Chat Garant to Octovine to Silver Waste. Like, going to Dragon Stand is only because you need Crystalline Ore to make legendaries. That's got to be it.
Don't you think people would do it because it was kind of fun, though?
No.
No?
Well, yeah, when Heart of Thorns came out. But...
Like, the right way to play Dragon Stand is AFK and wait for the other people to do the lanes, and then you run around and open with the machetes, and then you tag like the events at the end boss, and then get your rewards, and then open more machetes.
I mean, that sounds a lot like what I do at Octovine. You just AFK and you burn the door.
Okay, how many? Real. How many players actually play Guild Wars 2, and how many people AFK and just get the rewards? Are you guys aware of these games, like the clicker games, like the cookie clicker and stuff, right? And
clicker?
The incremental games, the ones where you have to I don't know, I don't know how to. Chat, help me out here. Chat, help me out here, chat. Right? It's like idle games. Yes, idle games. Yeah. Do you guys know what an idle game is? Fireproof. Hello, by the way, dude. Yeah. But there's this concept of this game that kind of almost plays itself, and you just get like the dopamine hit of seeing numbers go up. You know what I mean?
And it puts off the like the slot machine bell because that induces like you think you're a winner.
You think, well, a bit like that, right? It's a little bit like that. But these games, you start off and you have to kind of click on stuff, right? You click on something, and you get like a number goes up, right? A number goes up, and then you get one that makes the number go up automatically, right? Okay, and you can click that, and you can keep making them.
I see.
Okay, and then you can make a thing that makes the number go up, and it just it gets more and more exponential, right? It starts going crazy. It's a game that plays itself, and then you just look at the numbers and you get happy because you see massive numbers, and you see that you're gaining something. You're gaining something. Then you pay $10 to make the number go up. Exactly, dude. Right?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Do you guys know this stuff? I think the chat knows what I'm talking about. Okay, like they know. The chat knows, guys. Okay. I know you guys have big brains, but I just feel that Guild Wars 2 gets played like that now. Like everyone's AFK. Like even for Inks and Nike are AFK. Like Nike can't even be bothered to like one burn and troll open world raids at this point.
Oh, I mean, I still do, but I don't like just AFK waiting for it to happen. I still go.
Yeah. Do you still one burn? That was kind of what I was going into.
Yeah.
Do you still go for it?
You have to. It's the only thing. It's the only right way to play.
Yeah.
Then all of map chat says stop. What the fuck are you doing?
The stop is funny. But what's funny now is like it's so ingrained in the community to one burn that like most of the people know to do it. And when someone says stop, they get like made fun of in state chat. So it's someone always says stop, but then everyone else is like lol, and that's like that's it. Okay. But apparently, I was someone sent me a mail. There is a one burn guild on NA now that like is like specializing in speedrunning world bosses again. And they were like, "Hey, we want you to like come with us one night while we do our thing." And I was like, "Okay, if I can free up the time." But like, they apparently they one burn all 4 lanes of Octovine, and they one burn all 4 lanes of the 4 lanes of Shaq Garrett. Dude, like they're doing cool stuff.
That's nice. I like that actually.
So I'm glad they exist, but
that is pretty fucking high.
ATT was like that for a little while.
Yeah.
Trying to one burn bosses and whatever.
I don't want to talk about this, guys. It's like, fuck. Like when I hear about stuff like this, I just think, damn, dude. Like this is what the game could have been. The game could have been so cool if they'd really just focused on some like actual hard open world content. Like I don't know. There's no game that can pull this off quite as well as Guild Wars 2 with this epic open world, like 50 players working towards this goal. Triple Trouble to Quattle before they like nerfed it and made it easier, and stuff like that. It's just
I actually want to say the apex of my play was probably Triple Trouble. Thinking back on all the playtime that I put into whatever, even raids, I think I spent 36 hours straight trying to kill Triple Trouble before the other servers. We failed, but it was still a good time. And sitting in a Discord full of people and trying to figure out what the hell we're doing wrong, roaming 10-man squads.
Are you throwing shade at Wooden Potatoes for his bad strat? Is that what you're doing?
Wow.
It wasn't just Wooden Potatoes.
Well, he was the commander of the roaming squad, if you recall.
Whoa! That's brutal, dude. That's It's a pain to get.
But it was fun. It was everybody was learning how to fight certain heads and
You had what was great about it is that you had communities, right? You had an actual MMO feel to the game where people would have to come together to overcome this challenge, and people did come together and overcome the challenge. It was exactly the same with HOT release, right? With Chat Garant, right? People working together, people figuring out Dragons, and even Dragons had actually used to fail, if you can believe it, guys, right? Like, wow. People had to figure out the strats and how to get that done as well. Like this sort of thing is just so awesome. I really think, right? I don't even think you need the map queues. Like you're still able to get into the map. So if you know how to abuse the system by like forcing new maps to open with the relog trick and stuff like that, and getting fresh instances, like it's doable. Yes, it's inconvenient, but it's still doable. And perhaps if they'd gone in this direction, they would have allowed you to have a guild instance. Like why on earth you can't have a guild instance, right? Of of a map is kind of, I don't know, like what the hell is going on there, right? So there's just nothing you can do on that side. But I mean, well, we talked about this earlier. The guilds, there's not much guild in our guild wars here, guys. You know, it's not really there. But
that happens when you disband the guild team.
Yeah, I guess so. But well, you know what? Let's segue before we start getting like severe depression.
I know. I'm such a downer this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, so one thing that needs to be in this episode, is a cheap replacement for sweet and spicy butternut squash soup. If that isn't the reward for killing Tequaddle, I don't know what would be better than that. Like, bam, drop me this recipe so I can make them for like 10 silver each. Done. That would make me so happy. Like, the whole rest of the episode could be complete trash, but if there's like a 10 silver sweet and spicy butternut squash soup replacement, 5 stars. I support them completely.
That's coming with Cooking 500.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm curious to see how that's implemented, but
yeah. Well, I mean, you know, the food market and particularly that food in general has been, it's been a bit of a thorn in the side of everyone, I suppose. But I mean, I guess it is an hour long, so it's not perhaps that bad. I guess it's not like ultra bad. I suppose it's not as horrific as it could be. But I don't know. I'd love to see. It's always exciting to see some more food types, right? You know, like so, all that sort of thing, and you know, different combinations to play around with. And well, speaking of that, actually, do you think there's going to be a new stat type? Because they didn't say there was.
No.
Was there a new stat type for? I know there was a couple for other episodes, but not every episode, right?
There was the previous episode because we had.
They did mention Diviner's gear in the trailer of the one that had Diviner's gear, which means they didn't. We won't be getting it, but
yeah. So yeah.
Since we're never going to get the other version of Diviners, the Seekers or whatever, since that's is even more OP than Diviner's gear. Like, what's left on the vine? What's the low hanging fruit?
Condi damage, expertise, healing, and vitality. Oh,
okay.
Oh, ultimate heal necro build, dude. Oh my god.
I think Demolishers would be good. It would help World v World for sure.
Demolishers would annihilate roaming if they added that. Holy shit, that would be so degenerate. Like, oh god, imagine people running around.
That'd be great. Warrior would be really good at roaming at that point.
Like Warrior, like a Hollow
Revenant
Smith.
would be sick.
Rev would be so disgusting with Demolisher, actually. Well, I mean, yeah, roaming is already farmed. That's true. Like, roaming has been dead since, probably, honestly, since HOT. But, you know, like, only in core was it really a thing, I guess. But, you know, it was pretty, but that would make it extra spicy as well. Although, to be honest, I don't think ArenaNet really cares about the balance in World versus World. Otherwise, there's no way they would have actually allowed it to get to where this was. And you know what? Look, in the because we had a balance patch, right? And that's also under the jurisdiction of this tea time, since it's been a little while. It's been missed last week. But there were no balance changes to World versus World at all. Like, not even one. Okay? The only change they did was they fixed like the Hammer 5 glitch on Rev that sometimes double casts itself. There you go. I mean, that's a fun meme. That's a good meme. Wait, fuck. What were we gonna say? What was I say? What was I gonna fucking say? About the food and the new stat type. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little tired today, guys. I'm also a little bit ill. I'm on drugs, okay, but you know, not the illegal ones, okay, the ones that kind of make you a bit drowsy. Okay, I'm a bit low energy, guys. We're gonna try and keep it up though. A new stat type. I would really like that. That would actually be a lot of content if I could play some new builds, especially for raids. Now, I think I've actually finally been defeated by ArenaNet, and this is why the balance patch was a bit lackluster for me, really, in general. It's just that I am really, really fucking bored with raids, okay? And to be honest...
That happens when you play them every single day, 7 days a week.
I am really...
65 days a year.
I am gonna struggle to actually go back. That's my problem here, though, right? This is the thing, okay? I'm not sure if I can go back at this point. Because when I quit Fractals Inks, okay, right, I never went back. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dude, I don't want to do that shit ever again, right? That was my feeling. And I just really hope that doesn't happen with raids.
But now people sort of try to make you do them, which is part of the fun of the stream, because you despise it so much that people like to see you suffer.
Yeah, they want Rex, right? You know, they want Rex.
Rex.
Yeah. They just want those fucking Rex. They just crave Rex 75. That's what they're about, you know. They just, oh yeah, and you know that is funny, right? And you know what? Ultimately, the stream is a really big part of my fun in the game, you know. But
For sure.
Just you know, where it's for raids, like the only thing that would make me go back is some new meme builds to play. And honestly, I've been spoiled by. I can't believe I'm saying this, guys, but Heal Necro has ruined my raid experience. Like. And honestly, nerfing Chaos Chrono has also ruined it's just when I play raids now, it feels like you barely even play the game. Like Chrono just feels kind of lame. Like you're not really OP anymore. Heal Necro is the only thing I kind of actually have fun with. Like Heal Necro in bad groups is just so much fun to play, and just playing any other build just kind of feels bad, you know. Like, it's just like when I play DPS, like, well, you know, I'm just like, doing my Golem meme, you know, like just going crazy, just doing my thing, and I don't know, I really struggle with it. I wish they would push more balance changes and really shake things up a bit, you know, and especially with PvE. Like in PvE, I think they should just make stuff broken. Like I've actually changed my mind on this. I'm doing a 180 on this one, boys. I said they should nerf stuff.
Like I remember like 3 weeks ago, you were like they need to do a massive power decrease. Like massive nerf across the board. Now you're like, let's go crazy.
Well, it's just, I mean, the correct thing is to nerf it, right? Okay, but for me personally, I just no. Okay, I just want to play some OP shit. You know, like it's raids. Who cares? They're never gonna be hard. Okay, they're not doing that. It's gonna be fucking free forever. Like, you might as well just go all in and go full meme. You know, is it still correct to nerf everything? Would that make raids more fun? Yes, absolutely. It would make them way more engaging if you're actually forced to do them. Okay, but that isn't going to happen, right? They aren't going to nerf them. So let's just make everything busted, right? Like, I've changed my mind, okay? The right solution for Guild Wars 2, we make everything OP, okay? And it's just fun to play again, you know? Like, just Chaos Chrono. Dude, you can say what you like about Chaos Chrono, but holy shit, that was fun to play because you just maintain perma boon. The game is way more fun, okay, when you have every boon in the game permanently, okay? Oh, wow.
The funny thing about that, too, is like...
Amazing.
Everyone knew it was going to be nerfed. Like, the second that it caught on, you're like, well, this is going to be nerfed. 12 boons perma? Okay. Like, 2 days after the patch, you were like, yep, this won't last.
Yeah. I don't know. This is something that I am at odds with the raid community as well, actually. And this is why I kind of have no hope, or I have little hope for raids. Like, a lot of the raid scene in Guild Wars 2, they like the idea of... basically, the better you get at the boss, the more of a golem it gets, right? I actually hate that. Like, that means the better group you're in, the more tedious the raids become, right? Like, I actually really don't... One of the reasons why I stopped raiding, and particularly with a proper static team, is because the raids are just so boring if you're good at them, right? Like, I like playing...
I'll join you and ruin all that for you.
I like playing with trash groups, okay? Because I actually have to play that. No, seriously though. Okay, when I play with the people in my guild who are really good, right? Like my slightly try hard guild, right? Okay, they're too good at the game, right? You know, I'm not even playing. Like, I barely have to play the fucking game, right? But when I'm in a pug, right, and I've got these people who, are they bots? Are they real? You know, are they actually humans? Right? Then it's actually, you can enjoy the game, right? You can actually enjoy the game. It's a lot more fun.
You know what would make that even better? If you could gear inspect those pugs.
Yeah,
that would just like,
it
would just make the whole experience like 100 times better, especially the streaming experience, because you could just be like, what is this guy doing? What is he doing? And then like inspect him and go, oh my god, look what he's actually doing. Holy crap.
It's good.
Like, oh, it would be...
Yeah. Now, and
can someone please illegally develop a gear inspect?
Uh-oh.
And like just develop it, put it out there. You don't have to like make a big deal about it. Just put it out there, and if people want to use it, they can use it. I mean,
hold on,
Clear is gone now.
I'll give Bagwan a call.
Oh no, yep, okay, bring him back. He's got a new account. No, it's look. I want to know this though. It's really not an ego thing. It's about feeling like you make an impact, right? Like when I play with a good group, it honestly feels like it barely even matters what I do, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, then, yeah, the other problem with that too is when you play with a good group, then all of a sudden your expectations of the level of play rise high.
no.
And when it doesn't quite meet that expectations, it makes you even madder than if you
Yeah.
had joined a bad group
Yeah, it's true.
in the first place.
You're completely right. Yeah, you're completely right. This exactly you're describing exactly what happened to me, right? It was just like we were playing and it was like lukewarm, right? It was like, you know, it's not good, but it's not bad either, you know. And then that's actually really fucking triggering. Like the lukewarm situation is like ultra mad. It's insanity, right? Like it drives you to madness. I can completely understand that, and that's certainly what happened with me, right? When you play with bad people, you can feel like you're actually doing something, you know, you're like, oh yeah, I'm making a difference in this group now. Yeah, let's fucking go, boys, okay? We're getting it done. We're getting it done, lads. Okay, we're going crazy. And that's the most fun. That's the most fun for me in the game, honestly, is in raids. And Heal Necro, when I'm playing Heal Necro, you feel like a god, okay? Like when you're in, one of my favorite things to do in this game, guys, Veil Guardian, Pug, like 20 LI or training group with Heal Necro. You just feel like a beast, you know, and that's where I'm talking about, like the OP-ness factor. Like Heal Necro is the most broken shit ever, right? And it just has such a high impact on the game, and I think that's what has really been lost with a lot of the classes that I enjoy, right? Like, and honestly, this is why I say this is a bit of a very long sidetrack here, but Heal Necro has ruined raiding for me because playing everything else just feels so pathetic compared to it, you know? You know what I mean? Just like playing any class that isn't Heal Necro feels like you just don't do anything. You know, I feel useless when you don't play it, right? Because it's just you can't influence the fight nearly as much as if you were on Heal Necro. It's like, I don't know. And when I play Chron, like, oh, give the quickness, the alacrity, pull the ads, like hit the boss. When it's on Heal Necro, it's like, okay, I'm hard CCing, I'm pulling the ads, I'm rezzing 5 people every 10 seconds. You know, it's like, oh my god, oh, it's so good.
Doesn't it like hurt you though that like Heal Necro doesn't have like its ideal gear type, stat type?
Like and it's still busted, dude. It's still fucking
like if
busted.
it had like I don't know. For me, like I don't know if it's an OCD thing or whatever, but knowing that my gear wasn't exactly what it could be, like would bother me to the point where I couldn't play it. Like even if I knew how good it was, I'd just be like, wouldn't it be better if it had this, and this stat? And since it doesn't, I just like I couldn't handle it.
Plague Doctor was so close, dude. It was so close to perfection, you know.
Which team did Plague Doctor again? What map did that come out with?
Corner. Yeah, you can't complain about Guild 2 being way too easy and demanding OP builds like Chaos Chrono or Resbot Scourge. No, you're right. You know, I think is I just don't think that. I'm done complaining that it's too easy because realistically, you know, it's never going to change. And yeah, I think that Heal Necro should honestly be nerfed. It's really dumb. Like it's kind of killed my enjoyment of raids actually because of how strong it is and like how impactful it is.
Yeah, but at least it's active.
Yeah, and
like,
that active game,
like you like if Heal Necro was like nerfed, you would probably in those situations play Heal Ellie, which would be significantly less fun.
Yeah.
It would be 90% as effective, but like 10% is fun.
This is something that I really do feel is lacking in Guild Wars 2, the balance for raids. I think as time has gone on, like everything is more and more passive, right? Like everything is just passive boons, passive healing, passive fucking damage, let's be honest here, right? Like you kind of, you don't have any play potential. Like they've nerfed a lot of really OP shit, but the OP shit was fun to play because it was active, right? And you were doing something, you know? And that's why Heal Necro is fun. You're absolutely right. Like there's raids in general for me are just so they're not active at all, right? Like you just sit there and hit the boss until it dies, right? You don't feel like you barely feel like you're playing the game, right? Which kind of sucks. And that's something that, well, the balance is slowly whittled away at, right? I think a lot of stuff has slowly chipped it down, you know, and that you know,
I think a lot of that has to do with like distortion share or Aegis share or whatever. Like it made it so that that's like what you said, like the better you get at a boss, the more of a golem it becomes. Well, really a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're getting stability shared when you need it and you're getting Aegis when you need it if your team is good enough. And that makes it, if you're playing anything but the guy giving those boons out, it makes it like super non-interactive.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, now
The speed clear people would be probably mad for me saying it, but fucking completely nerf Aegis share. Like, just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Chrono shouldn't be doing that. Maybe Firebrand can, but not Chrono.
It just seems that perhaps you have to make the fights really, really fucking annoying in a way, or really punishing, or just way, way harder. Because as it stands right now, I think that even if you nerfed Aegis share, people would just still do exactly the same thing, but you just dodge a little bit. You know, I don't think anything would
dodging
really
is great. There's a lot of people that can't do that shit. Like,
yeah.
If you didn't play in like the dungeon days, like pretty much good chance. If you just started playing the game in HOT, you probably can't dodge. Like, you just go to fight. You try to solo loopy and you just get fucking kicked in phase 1 over and over again.
Yeah, the big kick.
And you don't get it. Yeah.
I don't think that I don't think distortion should really work on raid bosses. Like, not their big attacks or whatever.
Well, it you know, they removed the share, so it kind of doesn't. The thing is that what they've done is they've kind of removed the power creep, but the gameplay has kind of remained the same, if that makes any sense, right? So even though they nerfed all the Chaos Chrono, all the Distort share, and the really busted stuff, it doesn't. Nothing actually changed, right? Like, it didn't actually force you to do anything. You just do it slightly differently, and you feel less powerful. So it's like the gameplay is identical to how it was before, except you feel like you kind of suck, right? That's kind of what it is. So the fun has just been. Well, I don't know. I don't want to. I feel like I'm just I feel like we're just kind of complaining about this for no reason, really.
In Veil Guardian, like, people don't do the green circles anymore, like, not for a long time, right? So why would you give players a way to skip the green circle mechanic when that's supposed to be part of the fight? And even the Gorsiful thing, I mean, that's more of a DPS thing, right? If you can do enough DPS and you don't have to run out and glide up and glide back and all that nonsense that you had to do maybe the first time you did it or whatever. I think it's a bit of a shame that you don't have to go do those mechanics anymore.
No, I think that's why raids lose their longevity, is because they are way too easy. They don't force you to actually engage in the fight. I think, seriously, it's a huge problem. Like, if raids would be a bit stickier, and would last longer if you actually had to do the mechanics. But the thing is that almost no mechanics actually force you to engage with them. You can just skip all of them or ignore them. Like, that's a really big problem in Guild Wars 2 raid design, and maybe we'll see an improvement on this in Wing 7. I certainly hope so. Like, in a way you do with Kadim. Like, Kadim is a fight that you must engage with. Like, if you don't engage with Kadim, you are going to die. And this, seriously, guys, I actually
there's certain, like, you can skip the stability thing if you have enough the stability fountain or whatever that. Like, if you have enough DPS, you can just ignore the stability one. You can take out the retail and the prot and push him to the next phase before the CC comes up.
That is okay, though, because it requires gameplay, right? You may have to use the Spellbreaker Elite, and you could definitely alleviate it by just having... you could have him have way more HP, right? And then you wouldn't be able to do that, right? But, like, Wing 6 actually exposes people so hard because it's, like, the only raid... that actually really punishes you if you don't engage with the fight. Like, Largos is an incredibly easy fight, right? Like, really fucking easy. But it's like it's the Pug Slayer, because you have to do damage, and you just feed if you fail the mechanics, you just feed instantly on that fight. It's a really good fight for that reason. Like, Largos will always be relevant in my opinion, because it's a very engaging encounter. It's a very active encounter. And yeah, it's Zach is right here, right? Like, every fight is really, really static. A lot of them are, and you just randomly, you just randomly AFK and nuke the boss down. And it's kind of the thing is, this is a problem that only the 1% really have. If you look at a lower level raid group, this doesn't really happen. Like, if we were worse at the game, we wouldn't be complaining about this. If that makes any sense, right? Like, if we were really bad and we kind of sucked, then the raids are actually what we want them to be, if that makes any sense, right? They are engaging. You do have to do the mechanics. You do have to pay attention. Like, this only gets bad if you actually get good at the game. That's kind of what this is. Just be bad, guys. We need to actually be trash. Okay, that's what needs to happen here. Okay.
Right, but if the CMs were repeatable and rewarding, don't you? And they actually made you do certain mechanics in CMs because it instead of being a soft attack, it became a hard attack. Like I feel like that could exist. They just need to take that plunge.
They won't.
They
they
put
might
out one
not,
raid every
but-
year. They're like struggling to put out one raid a year. Like adding anything under the development time at this just seems unimaginable.
No, I'm going full teapot. I'm going full delusional. It's gonna happen. ArenaNet, make a stand. Make CMs repeatable and rewarding. Make them difficult to the point where you make Teapot cry every night. That's what you
Nice.
have to do.
Well, that's actually the soul crushing thing about Guild Wars 2, and this is where I really clash with the community a bit, and I'm pretty sure I'm one of the only players who would actually feel like this maybe in the entire game. Like, it is so hard to convince people to do CMs in this game. Like, all the try-hard guilds, what do? They clear on normal mode, right? They don't clear on CM. So you could already do this, but there is no will in the community to actually play the game on the hardest difficulty setting, right? And this is a big problem, right? This is a really big problem here, because even in the hardcore scene, this isn't desirable. It was so much... Okay, I'll just flat out expose it, okay? I've already got a lot of resistance about making, adding Wing 5 CMs for the next raid tournament, okay? A lot of resistance, okay? People don't want that.
Weren't they in the last one?
And it was exactly the same for this one, for the previous one as well. Like, people were like, "Yeah, dude, we don't want CMs. Like, no CMs, please. Like, no CMs." Like, dude.
Well, why not?
Well, that's the thing, right? Dude, you're a hardcore guild and you're playing on easy mode. What? What? Like, you might actually have to do a mechanic. Oh my god! Like, this is what we're dealing with, man. Okay, with the raid community, like, people already want to play on easy mode, right? Even the hardcore guilds play on easy mode, and so you could, in theory, I would really prefer to actually always do challenge mode. I like to play on the hardest difficulty. It's fun, but you just can't get people to do it, right? You just cannot get people to do it. It's really sad, actually. It's really depressing. So even though it exists, it doesn't get appreciated. No, and also I'm running away. Okay, this is no depression stream. Okay, we're not doing depression stream. High energy. Okay, I want fucking high energy because you get nothing. You get fun, fireproof. It's good. It's fucking fun. I don't know, man. Like it's challenging. You have to play the fucking game instead of just DPS goleming. It's ridiculous. Oh man, that's a good meme, Havoc, by the way.
You know what? Too many people are like me. They want lazy, easy content, which is unfortunate. And we've talked about this a million times. I already see the jokes in chat. What they need to do is, number one, make CMs repeatable, make them difficult so you can't skip mechanics, and then you have to make them rewarding. Make it rewarding to do raids, repeatable raids, so that you can do them more than once. It's okay if you let raids be rewarding enough so that raiders can make money doing it. And you have to add an item of prestige. A special mount skin should already be a given, but whatever, a special armor set or whatever the case is for doing the hard CMs, or at least a chance of drop. I mean, ArenaNet's chance will be 0.00001%, but still, that needs to exist in order for people to be tempted to even do CMs on a
why isn't there a
basis.
Shack egg sack
Okay,
in every raid wing? Like,
isn't it enough just that it's fun though? Okay, now I understand that there should be a reward.
No, it's not enough.
But the thing
I
is,
wish it was, but it's not.
I agree with you for like the casual players, right? Or the mid-tier raiders, okay? But what disturbs me is that the hardcore players don't take to it in the community, right? Like, in my mind, a hardcore player is a player who plays it for the challenge, right? For the experience, for the gameplay, okay? So when the hardcore gamers, right, the hardcore scene are playing on easy mode, okay? What? Right? What's going on there? It doesn't make any sense. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it.
Because the game has conditioned them to do so.
Feels bad, man.
And the hard mode isn't repeatable anyway. So why would you like? I know what you're saying. You should do it for the fun. You should PvP for the fun, for the challenge, to be the best. But that's not how reality works, unfortunately.
Well, maybe not in Guild Wars 2.
Well, in a lot of games, I think that I don't know.
I mean, in a lot of games, there's still like there's a drop that you might get from killing a boss 1 out of every 10,000 times. So mostly you're playing it for the fun because you don't have a realistic chance of getting that drop. But just the fact that you could get that drop makes it interesting from a rewards perspective, and it's just enough of a carrot on a stick to make you like play it for the fun. Like I don't see why you can't have both. Like,
yeah, no, I think you can. Yeah, absolutely. But no, I'm dodging this one, okay? Because we're getting. Yeah,
let's talk about things we like.
Yeah,
that have happened.
Dude, okay. I am amazed. Honestly, this was the sickest meme. Okay, I am ready. Okay, for this. Okay, the world boss event. Okay, the fucking world boss event, dude.
I noticed my buy order hasn't filled yet from my egg sack, so you guys aren't farming those events hard enough. In fact, if you're watching the stream, stop what you're doing. I mean, don't stop watching, but go into the games, hop on the train, and get Daddy a check egg sack. I need it. Let's do it. Teleport around and get me one.
This was incredible, actually. I did not expect this to be as successful as it was. Now, to be honest, I would love, you know how ArenaNet sometimes do an infographic, right? On, how many, I don't know, times people have, like, died to falling damage, or, like, how many times Mordramoth has been killed in his instance, right? I was like, or how many Zitans have been killed, or, I don't know, like, how many Silver Wastes have been farmed. I would love to see an infographic about this boss week, dude, okay? Holy shit. Okay,
how many chalk egg sacks?
Tell us how many egg sacks dropped.
It would be so cool because
how many got vendored for nothing because the person didn't know what they had. It has to have happened in the history of time.
I just can't remember the last time I saw this many people playing. Right? Okay, like it was insane. Now, of course, it was a bit of a debate, right? Because you're very unlikely to get a chalk egg sack. But damn, dude. I think it should really show ArenaNet that their open world content, or at least maybe, if you give people a little bit of a carrot on the stick, right? Then I don't even know, dude. Like, people just go crazy. I don't have any numbers on this, but dear Lord, good golly, okay? I don't think I've seen this many people log into Guild Wars 2 to play for, I don't know, since expansion launch, honestly. Like, it was absurd how many people were actually playing this game, playing Guild Wars 2 for these little boxes, right? And they didn't even do anything. This was cool. Now, I think that we're going to see a lot more events like this because ArenaNet is going to see that and go like, wow, okay, we can get people in our game, and dude, people are going to be buying those world boss teleporters, right? Oh yeah, let's get in on that action, right? Easy money on the gem store. I thought this event was great. It was fun to play through the old world bosses again and just see this chaos, right? This absolute chaos of 100 people just going crazy, making the game unplayable for each other with skill lag, right? It was just, I don't know, it was fucking crazy, dude. I actually loved it.
I seen that happening to you, and I expected it to happen to me, but I didn't really have it. I mean, I could still auto attack at the very least, so the skill lag wasn't that bad for me, but I've seen a lot of people complaining, obviously, about the skill lag. You get that many people in an area, and it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, the skill lag, it was pretty intense. I mean, yeah, of course, they are a bit, the open world bosses, they're a little bit face roll. I'm just going to say it. They're maybe a little too easy and not that engaging. Not that engaging. But just, I don't know, just being in that action, just being in this epic throng of players, like, it's got a special something, it really does, in my opinion. Now, I think it, even though it is really easy, and I'd love it to be actually challenging, you actually have to play the game to beat this stuff. I accept that it's not like that, right? It's not like that. But I really enjoyed the world bosses, and I honestly hope that they keep up this event stuff, right? I want to see more events like this for Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire. We know there's a Path of Fire revamp going through. For the events, anyway, right? They have talked about this, and they want to improve the events and improve the reward structure and the actual content itself as well. So we know that is coming. Okay.
Yeah. We just need to see more of these. Every week should be something different.
Yeah, they could automate that so it just rotates through.
Oh yeah, that has that been done before, Nike?
Yeah,
in
in almost maybe previous game they've developed has something similar to that.
Wait, is Discord lagging for you guys?
A little bit.
A little, yeah.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Guild Wars 1 did this, as you say, right? Guild Wars 1 did this.
Every week would be too often, you think?
It doesn't have to be world bosses. Like next week could be
you
do dungeons in each path.
It has
you
to
get 3 boxes or whatever.
Yeah, it wouldn't be world bosses every week. It would be something different.
Dude, if they did this for PvP, like, okay, oh my
yeah, it should.
God.
It should be mixed in there.
Ben!
Make it super toxic where you have to win a ranked game to get a box.
No. Oh, that would actually be insane. Every time you win, they have to give consolation prize, right? Every time you win, you get 3. Okay? Every time you lose, you get 1. Okay? So every time...
They should have 2 tiers of boxes. One box,
God.
like the Spurg box for people that can't win. Yep. And then the one box that actually could potentially give you a Jack Exac for the winners.
Dude, you would get... I can't even imagine how many people would be playing that stuff, dude. That would be insane. That would actually be crazy. You get double boxes above Plat 3. Nice. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
And there should be a World vs. World week as well. Like, mix it up every week.
Yeah.
Or every 2 weeks or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Don't give a box for losing, otherwise people AFK farm this. You have to give a box for losing. Everyone gets a cookie in Guild Wars 2, dude, I'm afraid. Everyone gets that cookie. So I'm afraid
no cookie for you.
Yeah, if
more.
Look, they have you could 100% lose rate in PvP and you still get your pips. Okay, like you can
All
throw.
right. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna get on a soapbox here for a minute. Go on a little rant.
Okay.
People need to learn to. You need to learn to lose in life. I've been a loser most of my life. Okay, I know. You need to learn to lose. You shouldn't be getting. I don't even have one. You shouldn't be getting participation trophies when you're playing a competitive, event or. That's the end of it. You get nothing. You lost. You are a loser. You get nothing. That's your problem.
Yeah.
If you win, then you get stuff. You get 3 loot boxes.
Very tough.
Whatever.
That's a very, very stern.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen in Guild Wars 2.
Oh shit.
Not only should you get nothing for losing, you should lose XP or lose something. Get real hardcore.
Wow.
It should be a punish mechanic.
Yeah. Bit of some death penalty memes going on there, maybe.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
I suck at making games. I mean,
like that would be interesting.
Games,
like Guild Wars PvP, if you die 5 times in one match, you're just death penalty'd out and you just can't res anymore.
You know what?
So the guy who feeds into FAR the entire game just dissolves after the first minute. Like that's it.
Nice. Then he's totally useless.
So I play Magic the Gathering Arena, Arena, which is an online whatever. When I lose, guess what? Nothing. I don't get anything. I have to play again. I have to play another match. Like you don't get anything when you lose. You lose rating actually. So.
Yeah, you have to get out your credit card and buy more packs to get into the tournaments.
What do you get when you lose an Overwatch? Just a question. I don't play Overwatch.
What do you get when you win an Overwatch? That's the real question.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Any satisfaction to that?
Well, this is what just I don't know, dude. I don't even want to really talk about this because this is a really done to death thing in a way. But there is in competitive games. Most of the time, you get fucking nothing for winning. That you win for the sake of winning, right? And this is why when we talk about rewards, I always feel like I should say, no, don't give them more rewards, right? This is the wrong approach, right? I think you want to... You can't... like, just running the community on just pure carrot and pure reward and just getting that big dopamine hit, boys. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting that fat loot, dude. It's just, I think it's so unhealthy for the game, actually. I think it really just, it fucks the community, because the community gets used to it. Then the community stops playing the game but for the game, right? Okay? Then they start playing the game just to get rewarded, you know? Like, it's not about the fun anymore, about the gameplay. It's just purely about the shiny, right? It's all about the shiny. And I think that is what, it's such a, this is a really cancerous, like, disease of a mindset in a community, you know. I really think it's bad, you know. I just,
the problem is the community's already got the mindset, so, like, I don't know. Like, I would say probably once every 2 weeks I get like a whisper in game from someone who's like, hey, I just saw your video on YouTube, I wanted to say thanks for blah blah blah. And I'm like, hey, cool, thanks. And they're like, well, I've made my legendary weapon. What's left to do in the game? Like, I've done everything. Like, what? And I go, well, kind of the end game in Guild Wars 2 is getting good at the game, and like you have to like push yourself to be better and like win in PvP or do better DPS and raids. Like, you have to want to progress. Like, the meaning, once you're geared, the meaningful character progression is your skill. Like, that's the only character progression that's left, because the gear progression's so horizontal. But the problem is there's a lot of players who don't find that compelling whatsoever, and not much in the game forces you to find that compelling. So you're in a situation where people do craft the legendary weapon that was like the apple of their eye, and then they don't know what to do, just because they don't want to get, they don't see getting better as a meaningful reward for practicing or playing more.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just a mindset thing, you know. I've been stuck. So for this season in Magic, I really hate Planeswalkers, but I've been stuck in Gold 4 for like a week, and the only thing I can think, besides changing decks to be more competitive or whatever, I've just been trying to play better, not miss certain interactions that happen in the game, or do some interesting blocking tricks that you can do in the game that like a regular player probably wouldn't think to do. But that's part of the fun in the Is it frustrating to lose 5 times in a row? Hell yeah, it's frustrating to lose. It can even be self-defeating, but I still log in the next day to try and win and play the deck that I have better. So I understand the frustration that comes with losing over and over and over again, but when you win, it feels even more rewarding in a way. And I get it. That mindset is just
like
not
the other thing is winning and losing implies that there's some competition happening, and in Guild Wars 2, like, they've made it such that you don't ever have to compete over anything if you don't want. So what do you do for the players who like don't want to compete? Like if you force them to compete, they would just uninstall the game. So, and that's a lot of players.
Yeah, I get it. You can't force them. You can't force them to compete. It's tough, you know. It's I think, unfortunately, structured PvP is. I don't know. I don't think it's going to. I mean, Guild Wars 2 has better metrics than I ever would, but I don't see a whole ton of growth going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess it's just, I guess it is just, you know, the more casual mindset. I guess, you know, it's not about being competitive or actually playing well. You know, the reward is the reward instead of the actual fun. You know, that the game is not about fun. Okay.
I mean, so Teapot, you've recently got into playing ATs over the last couple of months, right?
Yep.
Like you're try-harding ATs, right?
Yep.
Why? Why did you start doing that?
To be honest, I felt very driven out of raids by the lack of competitive feeling there and lack of tryharding there. It was too apathetic. So I said, you know what, people will be a lot more tryhard here, and it's true they are. People actually care about winning, and it's honestly because I like winning and I like being competitive. I am a very competitive person. And playing PvP, AT is automated tournament, for those who are wandering in the chat. It's because I wanted to be in an environment that is more suited to me. Like the raid scene in Guild Wars 2, I can't exist in, right? Really, I shouldn't have ever been there. Really, it's not the right environment for me. Really, it's not. It's actually not try hard enough. Like it's way too casual. I can't really handle it. And PvP is just. It's a better environment for me in that respect, right? Because it's people really. There are a lot of people who are, even though Guild Wars 2, it's a little bit of a meme comparatively. There are a lot of people who actually are really tryharding, really care about winning, and it's much more fun to be in an environment like that. Ranked is a little rough. Okay, it's a little, sometimes you have a game and you go like, okay, want to uninstall. Okay. A little bit of uninstalling that might, the desire is there. However, in the automated tournament scene, like the high end, I suppose, competitive scene, what you could say, is actually a lot of fun to play in, and actually there is a lot of work to be done there. And of course, winning, dude, it's all about that winning, all about winning.
Did they abandon the 2v2 meme that they were doing for a while in PvP? Like, is that like dead?
No, it was always intended to be like this, right? Like it comes and goes, right? It comes and goes.
Has it come? I mean, it came the first time, but has it come back? Like, is it ever coming back?
It is coming back, but at some point, right? And it's not determined when. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming. You've got the Swiss tournaments. You have potentially some
Stronghold
new maps.
revamp.
Stronghold. I don't look. If you ask Ben what Stronghold is, he won't even know. Okay, he doesn't know. The ArenaNet has forgotten. Okay, like they don't know about that one, right? It's gone. But yeah, the bug. Oh wait, is it the insta kill bug? That was this hilarious bug in the 2v2, by the way, guys. Like sometimes the fog, like, or rather, wait, what is it? Like the AOE that kills you, right? It wouldn't go away at the end of the round, and it would insta kill people, right? Okay, it would insta kill people in the second round, so you would die before the match even started. Actually, it was really funny. I think Swiss is what's coming next for PvP, and maybe some changes to the way the monthly tournament works, stuff like that. Okay, but the 2v2 is not dead, and 3v3 is actually on the table as well. Like 2v2 and 3v3 is potentially on the table as well. So as I understand it, so I guess it's going on there, right? It's going on there.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be back. I think the plan was, don't quote me on this. I think it was like to run it every 6 months or something like that, vaguely, like to have these 2v2 events every 6 months. You got Tournament of Legends once a year, then you mix in some other stuff in there as well. You got some PvP weeks, some bonus rewards and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think in terms of PvP, it's probably, even though it sees one of the least development of all the gamers, ironically, I actually think it's actually in the best state out of. I can't think of a game that's in a better state than PvP actually. I would probably say that PvP is in the game mode that feels the most complete, right? The most complete and the most finished and the most the biggest, most fun, I suppose. Certainly for me anyway. At this point, because all the other gamers kind of struggle a little bit to keep up. Whereas PvP, like, there are some balance issues, but even balance is actually surprisingly good. Once you get used to it, like, some of it's a little obnoxious, but it's okay, right? You're gonna get one shot a lot. Yeah, you're gonna get mad at some of this stuff. It's a bit frustrating to play against, but in terms of actual balance, it's fair enough, right? It's fair enough. It's okay.
Yeah, like I see, like whenever I watch a PvP stream, all I hear is, "Oh my god, XYZ is so unfun to play against." Like, but I've never heard anyone say, "Well, this class is amazingly fun to play against." Like, what I get the impression that just every class is unfun to play against, and that's just translation for it's not easy to beat. Like, I feel like. So
transitioning a little bit.
Because like, what class is fun to play against? Like, what class do you like? Are like, man, that was a blast to duel that guy. Like,
I think people really like, playing against Warrior without Rampage. Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy. That it just dies, right?
Hollow is pretty fair as well. Actually, I think Hollow is pretty fair. Let's see. I would even say some variants on Soul Beast are pretty fair as well. Actually, I think it's not too bad. And a lot of, the stuff that really pisses people off is Rampage on Warrior. Honestly, it really depends. Like the thing about the current meta, and this is something that even in a mirror match you have to watch out for, is that one mistake can just destroy you, right, to the point of no recovery. Like that's when it's not necessarily everything is like ultra OP. It's that one mistake ends you, right? Like that's the problem with it. Is that sometimes you get into a situation where there is no recovery. Oh, you didn't dodge Bull's charge. Well, I guess you're dead. The Hollowsmith got his like full CC chain off on you. Well, I mean, you're not playing the game anytime soon. It's the same thing. It's just the same. A lot of classes have that, right? Like, oh, yep, the Rev bursted me for half my health. I guess I'm dead now. It's that sort of thing, right? Is what people find frustrating about it. But in terms of actual balance, I would say, it's all right. It's all right. It's okay, I guess, right? Like, I think it's a bit of a power creep thing. They've like power crept the offensive and defensive capabilities of kind of everything, right? So, for example, like SD Thief is a great example of this, right? SD Thief feels good, man. So this was a build that got played a very long time ago. Then when Daredevil came out, it was like, oh god, power creep. Nope, not playing that anymore. But now it's back. And how did they buff it? They just made it so like literally half the game it's evading, right? Unironically, like, half of the encounter it will be dodging. So trying to land a hit on these motherfuckers is crazy. Okay, it's intense. It's a good meme, and even though it's not imbalanced as such, right? It's still a bit like, oh my god, like what is going on here? Like, why are we playing against this, right? It's like, what is this? What's going on here? And yeah, that's the problem, right? But I don't know. I'm not going to bash the balance of PvP. Like, once you get used to it and you understand how to play around some of this stuff, and not, then it's okay, right? It's actually, the balance is fine. It's surprisingly good. And you got that competitive environment. I'm honestly having a blast playing with my team. Like, I like playing with any team in general, like for anything. But if for whatever reason in PvP people just push it, right? They actually just try a little bit more. It's just so difficult to find a team in raids that actually puts the effort in, right? Now actually puts work in. Whereas in PvP it's much easier to find that, right? It's still, don't get me wrong, it's still incredibly difficult. Like, you're gonna have to, with certain groups, you're going to have to kind of force your way in there and really brutally push people to practice, but it's a little easier to do, right? A little easier to do. Yeah. This is a weird sidetrack. So,
well, I was going to ask Nike how about Warrior. Somebody was asking earlier about Warrior and I guess whatever's going on with the class.
Warrior's really good right now in PvE. Super enjoyable.
Yeah?
I think so.
You like the new Berserker rotation?
Yeah, Power Berserker, especially the banner version, is a delight to play.
Yeah.
Condi, not as fun as the old Discipline rotation, I would say, but the Power Banner Berserker is just a real delight.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get to use Greatsword. So
Greatsword, the legendary.
Fun.
The legendary's coming up soon, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't even talked about the legendary.
Oh, the legendary. That's a good way to go, right? Yes. That's a good segue. Man, I thought I wasn't gonna play it. I wasn't gonna craft it, right? But I'm so tempted, knowing what it does, right? Like, or knowing what it seems to do, right? Changing based on the class. Okay, changing based on the skill you use. I mean, man. That's actually sick, right? That's so fucking cool. I am really, really tempted to actually craft it. And I almost certainly will once I get my lazy ass round to actually doing map completion. I think
that's the thing. Yeah. I have to do another map completion in HRT. And I think I might have to actually roll a new character and level them to 80 to just
Ouch.
like boost them to 80 just to like get a character through there again. Because I'm pretty sure I've done the map completion on every character.
Yeah. I really like the Great Sword, actually. I knew that I suspected they would do something really high effort, but I didn't expect them to go this far, right? Like a custom animation for, well, presumably a large amount of skills, right? I mean, they may be reusing it a little bit, perhaps. You know, they may be using some of the same kind of effects, but I mean, hey, look, I mean, for Reaper, right? It turns into a giant scythe. I don't think they're going to be reusing that anywhere else. I shouldn't think so anywhere.
Right.
I'd imagine stuff like 100 Blades will have an animation, Whirling Wrath will have an animation, all that. So Maul on Ranger, I'm sure will have something, right? You know, really, really cool. And well, and the chat is pointing out something, and this is kind of the downfall of Guild Wars 2. But I mean, I don't know. With legendaries, I don't think this applies, right? Like, I don't mind. I think the colors on it are fine, but it would be nice to have some customization on it, obviously, right? Be able to change the colors on it to make it fit your look. But then again, you've got to design your character around the greatsword, right? But I don't know. I think it can work with pretty much everything. Like, just because you can have a different colored weapon to, you know, the rest of your outfit to a certain extent. Not everything has to match. I think you can always make it look really, really cool, you know?
Yeah, the greatsword really also changes depending on the lighting, like the ambient lighting of whatever zone or area you're in. So it, like, just if it doesn't match your character perfectly in one light scheme, it might match in another, like, pretty well. Like, it goes really well with heavy legendary armor, like, really well.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt
I
it.
love chat right now. Somebody says, I love Legendary X. And someone is like, no, that Legendary is trash. This is the best Legendary.
Dude,
well, I mean, I know there's a lot of hate for the dagger, but daggers, that was like one legendary I was like snap not interested in making. Not even a question real. I wasn't making that.
You guys know those tier lists that people are doing right now? Like the tier list shit?
Okay? BuzzFeed top 10 lists. Click through.
Oh, I know, a bit higher quality than that, but you know, like, the dagger would have its own tier, okay, right? Like, you've got S tier up here, and then like at the center of the earth, right? Then you've got the dagger, okay? Like the dagger is just
encased in like a ball of like dried dog shit, like that low.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the Gen 2 dagger is like, wow, you know, you tried, ain't it? I guess, right? I mean, you know, you did your best.
See, I don't know. I think the gunboat, whatever it's called.
The gunboat's also terrible. Like, unless you're into memes. Like, if you're the type of player who's like, yeah, I want my character to be the biggest doofus going and have like this meme shit, but like, I don't know. I've never seen anybody like running around the aerodrome or anywhere with that HMS Divinity. Make an infographic on how many people have crafted that, because I guarantee you it's less than 1,000. Like someone should look on efficiency right now and look up how many people have it on unlocked on efficiency.
Well,
yeah,
I'd be interested in that number.
And hey, do you know what this does?
Shield, yeah.
This marks the end of the legendaries.
Legendaries, yeah. Heart of Thorns is complete.
Heart of Thorns is actually with this. Heart of Thorns, the first expansion for Guild Wars 2, will actually be complete, right? Feels good, man. So how long did that take? Heart of Thorns came out. Let's see, when did that come out, guys? Hey, Heart of Thorns came out in the 23rd of October, 2015. Okay.
4 years.
We did it.
Yeah, 4 years. Okay, you know, 4 years. Okay.
Wow, 770 people have made HMS Divinity on efficiency. I mean, people are like, "Oh, we can't develop raids because not a lot of the percentage of the population plays." Well, that sounds like some development time got wasted on that boat.
Well, how many people have got Doom CM though? Let's be honest here, okay? Like
more than that. I guarantee you more than 770.
I'm gonna look it up actually. Like the participation is really
Yeah, I mean, I think Teapot's carried more than 770 people.
I bet the Shining Blade has had quite a few people make it, because that was actually really fucking.
And a lot of people will make this great sword.
Wow, the claw was double the divinity. I wouldn't even have thought 4 digits for the claw.
Well, the claw is an interesting one, okay? Because the draw effect is really cool.
Yeah.
Right?
And
the draw
the
effect is really
part
sick.
the projectile effect is actually pretty decent too.
Yeah. So 3.5k
The
people
hammer.
have Doom CM. 3.5 people.
Gen 2 hammer is the least crafted.
Sure, yeah, it's a bit
I
meh.
got crowbarred in, like really got crowbarred.
I
in.
like the knight
They're
version
like,
of it.
shining blade, and also this like hammer. Like it was like really. Like,
Yeah.
P.S. We also put the hammer in this patch. No one's gonna care. But
So the 3.5k people have Doom CM, but let's be honest, boys. Okay, at least half of that is sales. Like maybe even more than that. You know.
oh yeah,
Hey, like, think how many Doom CMs get sold every day, boys. Okay, just think about that. You know, come on, let's go. I don't know, the legendaries. I actually really like them in this game. Like when it comes down to the environment design and the weapon design and the armor design, like when they get the job done, you got to hand it to ArenaNet. They deliver, right? You know, let's kind of we're bringing the mood, guys. We're recovering. We're rallying here. We're bringing the mood back up. Okay, we're bringing the energy back.
All
Okay?
right, I'm gonna bring it back down. Do you think they're gonna make more?
No.
weapons.
Never.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
No
They have to
fucking
finish
way.
the trinkets first.
No
The
fucking
trinkets
way.
will be the next project,
Dude.
and then legendary runes and sigils, which they've committed to. somewhat.
No. I'm shutting this down. We're bringing the mood. We're going back down again, guys. We're going back down. Okay. There will never be another legendary weapon in Guild Wars 2. Okay? After this.
Feels bad.
Yeah. Ever.
I think
They have the
should do,
system in place to
yeah.
make them very
Yeah,
easily now.
I think they should do underwater ones.
Oh
Let's
god,
do it.
Don't do that.
Let's do it. Yes, I need a second spear.
Okay?
No, the spear is the best one.
I know. I need a funny spear.
Yeah. Look, okay? Look, ArenaNet are traumatized from their experience with legendary weapons and armor, okay?
I need an Aquaman trident. It summons fish or something.
Yeah. Okay?
I want the Gen 1 legendary armor that got scrapped halfway through its development.
Oh, you
Release that into the game.
Yeah, you want to see the 1 year, right? So,
Yeah. Why wasn't that like the intermediate armor, like the stage 2, like that? What they should have just made that the precursor. Like they already developed it. Make it the precursor. People be like, "Wow, this sucks," and then be like, "Yeah, it's the precursor." What do you expect?
In all seriousness, I do think we will see legendary weapons. I was being a bit of a meme at there. I think they're a really big draw to the game. No.
No, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Noxie.
Yeah. Realistically, they don't. Legendary weapons are a really big deal, I think, and I think they will continue them. But I'm not sure if we'll see them for a while. I don't know.
It won't be till the next X pack. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna get one in a living story.
Yeah, it might not be in the story, but it may be with it. It won't be for a while. Like that might be the last Path of Fire legendary, and then we may see a return of them later on. But I'd be a little surprised if they kept pushing it in every single story update. Like for example, at the start of season 5, I'd be a little surprised there. But no, they're a really big draw for the game, right? They really are, and they're a really big part of the end game for a lot of players with the cosmetic side of things. It's just.
I mean, I'll be honest. I just want to purple out. I want a legendary for every slot. Just make it happen.
Yeah, and that's why I think that we'll see a kind of a bit of a chill on legendaries for a bit, because for whatever reason it seems like a very difficult thing to develop. Like legendary armor took 2 years. Legendary ring has taken a year. Right? Wait, more than a year, right?
More than a year.
More than a year for a legendary ring. And we're still waiting on the rest of our legendaries for all of our accessories and stuff like that. And well, I would imagine the ring will be fixed. Will be finished for the next raid, right? If the ring doesn't come out with Wing 7, then ArenaNet just wants us to forget about it, right? And goes like, it didn't happen. You were dreaming. It was all a dream. Okay, it was all.
I think it'll be out.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Yeah. Man, I hope the raid is in 2 weeks from this patch. Like,
I say a month.
we've been asking them to like decouple the raids from the story because it sucks. Like the patch hits and you want to play the story, but you can't because you have to like grind the raid super hard. I'm glad they finally did decouple it, but don't make me wait like 3 months for the raid. Like 2 weeks to play the story is more than enough. Like I'm pretty sure I'll have my fill of the story in 2 weeks. So there's the only reason to delay it is if it's not done. And if it ain't done yet, you got some pretty big problems.
Well, they also said that they were going to release some kind of side content to go along with the raid or something.
Yeah, there's going to be a new open world zone. Like you'll be able to go into like I don't know, like into the lamp or something like that. Like
yeah,
Guildhall lamp.
No, the raid thing is, in my opinion, 140 IQ from ArenaNet, right? Now, they should never have called raids. Let's talk about it, okay? That should never have been the name. Like the name.
What should they call them?
Challenging group content, dude. I don't fucking care. Like
they should have called it Summer Party Fest.
Elite instances or something.
Yeah, elite
Party
instances.
Fest.
Or just dungeons, even. Just called them dungeons.
Fungeons.
Mega
dungeons, yeah.
Fades. Fun raids.
No, you can't do that.
Or just, I don't know, something like...
Can't use the R word.
Just like incursions, or I don't know, or something like that, or I don't know.
I quit World of Warcraft to get away from raids, and now Guild Wars 2 is adding them. This sucks. I feel betrayed.
Yeah.
How many posts were on the forums that were exactly like that? When raids were announced.
Raids, it's a dirty word, right? And they probably shouldn't have called them that. But this
some baggage there.
This is
all the bosses are in a circle. They should have called it the circuit.
Because now, when the raid comes, everyone can do something, right? Okay. Suddenly,
yeah, I mean that's the idea.
Yeah, that's the point, right? Now everyone can enjoy something to do with the raid. Maybe there's some open world events. Maybe there's a bit of a boss. Maybe there's like a guardian, like a guard that you have to beat to get to the raid or something like that, right? Potentially in the open world. Of course, you can always get there from the aerodrome. No. You always get there from the aerodrome, right? But maybe if you want to open the actual door to the boss, to the raid, right, in the open world, you have to beat down this event and beat down these bosses, right? This guardian, this guard, you know? I don't know.
So you're trying to say like they're smuggling the fun in. Yeah, so they're tricking the casuals into like dipping their toes into the water to see what the temperature is before.
Yeah.
It's just like
trap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tricking
right?
them into having fun.
Exactly. Then they have fun.
Man, this is really great, guys. Aha! You've been tricked. You're in a raid.
You've been jebaited. Now you're raiding. Oh no! Oh no! I'm elitist now. Oh no! This is terrible. Now, I don't know. I genuinely think that the word raid it just was not good. Or maybe they should have just kept with 5-man. To be honest, that may have genuinely been the way. For whatever. No, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
no, 10-man's great, but the 10-man, the word raid is a problem.
I was just thinking on this, right? The 10-man thing is actually like a bullshit thing for people just not wanting to do difficulty. Like, this is something you've got to be so careful of, guys, right? And it's a bit wrong to kind of assume people's intentions, but if you actually look at this stuff statistically, like, people are in such fucking bad faith, right? Like, if you look at 5-man content that's difficult, right? Like CMs, like Fractal CMs have an even lower uptake than raids, even, right? And raids are 10-man and Fractals are 5-man. So it's really not about 10 people, like, for why people don't do raids. It's because they're called raids, and it's because they are kind of hard, right? And you cannot be complete trash. Whereas,
yeah,
even in Fractal CMs, you can kind of muddle through it. But I wouldn't mind 5-man, actually. I think it's still good. I really like Fractal CMs. Special Forces mission. That's really good, Radek, because
40-man raids.
I would just do that.
Wars 2.
I would take that really tongue-in-cheek of like Special Forces. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that would be good. You know. 40-man raids. That would be so hype, dude. Okay.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah. This is one of the.
They can't find 10 people. They can't find 40.
Dude, I'm pretty fucking hyped. I'm pretty hyped for like classic.
I mean, it would be great for selling guilds, right? Because they would just man it
and
sell like 30 spots.
Yeah. 5-man is good, and in a way, the game has never really been balanced around 10-man. Even now, it's still a bit scuffed for the balance, I guess. But I don't know. I think either is. I wouldn't mind either, to be honest. I don't mind 5-man or 10-man. I just want to fight some bosses that are kind of hard, right? And just give me those raids, man, and I'll play them. I don't really care how many players are in them. But yeah, it is what it is, right? It is what it is.
I think I would really enjoy. This is gonna seem weird, but I think I would enjoy a one boss raid, like an Onyxia or something like that. You know.
Yeah, I think that they did this with the Secret Lair of the Snowman, right? Secret Lair of the Snowman. I think it was one of the best things I've ever put in the game. I was really impressed with that that instance, with that content. I was genuinely impressed. I thought, wow, you know what? ArenaNet, that was really good. I really like that.
They could come out with like a one boss raid every 2 months with a challenge mode, like that would be a legitimate release cadence. Like it would be 3 bosses every 6 months, sure, but the development has to be easier when you only have to control for one boss and get like, I don't know, the direction for one boss.
Yeah. It will be big, and that kind of release would hopefully be a little bit easier to release, right? Like, but you don't have to have this entire world, the entire story, right, to go through the entire way. I mean, this is. Oh yeah, I suggested this in the video. Like, will this ever happen? I don't think so. I think the entire future of raiding is very much uncertain in general, right? Will it actually come out? Will it even exist? It's a big question.
Is there even a raid team at the moment?
Well, I think raids and fractals are combined, aren't they?
I mean, they were before all the people that we knew the names of got moved off of them or fired.
Feels bad, man.
So I mean, that's the one ridiculously bad take that like everyone in the community had when the layoffs happened is they judged everything based on the devs that they knew. And when you only know 10% of the devs, you can draw some really incorrect conclusions about it. Like if the only Fractal dev you knew was Ben A, and he quits, you're in your head, you're thinking, oh my God, they've fired all the Fractal devs. It's like, well, maybe
he's the only one.
Yeah, like he probably had a full team working with him. So it's just, I don't think the average player or even the very well connected player had a really good conception, or even still has a pretty good conception of what the teams look like at this point. Like, we don't know how many people are currently on the raid team developing, and we didn't then really. So, but we just knew the names of a couple people, so it felt more real.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why you got to be, I don't know, like commenting on this sort of thing from an outsider perspective is always a mistake, really, isn't it? You shouldn't, because you just don't know. You don't know, and you don't know what's going on within the company. It's a very large entity, right? It's a big thing, and to try and pontificate on the inner workings of a company when really, we really have no idea about it is probably not the best idea. It's probably not the biggest brain, and it's always going to be impossible to be accurate. Like, all you can do is kind of take what a ReadNet, if a ReadNet comment on that, then that's what they say, and that is what we know about it, right? But it's going to be it. So, yeah.
Well, they are known for their transparency and giving people like a lot of info. So.
Oh yeah,
I have a feeling that we know everything.
Through, right? It's gonna come through. It's really gonna come through. But I don't know. It's yeah. Anyway, guys, let's. Yeah, it's impossible, guys. Like, can we make it through a stream while being fully PMA? No, I will
sure.
say,
Let's bring it back to the story.
Okay, yeah, the story.
After the last 2 living story patches, a certain writer for ArenaNet made a tweet taking credit.
Oh no!
Taking credit for the story. Both times, both patches, this ex-writer has made tweets taking credit for this. Like, everything good in the story I had something to do with was what the tweets essentially said. Like, now the question is, did this person have their fingers in this pie, and will they still try to take credit for it? That would be something I want.
Well, they had their fingers in the overarching story, so probably.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Okay. Look. Thanks, Lucky News, for the host. By the way, I'm gonna be real here. In my opinion, like if she really did have a big influence, she did a good job. In my opinion, I genuinely think that we did see an uptick in the quality of the writing and the way the story was portrayed. I actually was quite impressed actually with a lot of the story instances and the way the story was expressed within the game. So you got to separate the work from the individual, right? Okay, of course, quite an unpleasant individual to our boy DeRoya. Okay, got him on PewDiePie though, so hey, every cloud, lads, every cloud. But it is what it is. I mean, of course we're gonna see a fucking tweet, dude. Are you kidding me? Although I'm not so sure, dude. I mean, let's not.
The lawyer might have told her not
to.
Yeah. Gag order.
Yeah. But DeRoy was all over the place because of that, dude. It was big value for our boy.
But yeah, I mean, to give credit, you're right. The story was way better than let's compare it to the Scarlet era of season 2. This is significantly better, or season 1, whenever that dark time was. The writing is a million times. So, kudos.
But to add upon that, it's not. It's certainly not just one person, because Tom Abernathy also joined after, within this seasonal arc, as well as a number of other writers. So, yeah, sure. When Jessica joined, the writing definitely got better. The storytelling in general, I think, got better. But I think that goes for a number of developers, a number of narrative writers, designers.
Yeah, of course. It's very much a team effort, right? You can't just lay it at the doorstep of. And
unfortunately, I think, while probably not the intention, I think some of that gets lost in those tweets. Sure, a lot of the writers had their fingers in the pie, or however you want to say that, but it's very much a team effort overall.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think the team will have learned and certainly worked on delivering the story in a way that's more palatable and more enjoyable over the years, and of course, seeing as the development cycle is quite long, this may have been going on for a long time, right? The best example of this for me is the marketing campaign. This is something that we haven't really talked about on TeaTime actually a little bit, but they've had proper ads going, right? Proper adverts, proper marketing. There's adverts all over the place. I've got these new video ads that have been going on, even some live action ones, which is a bit weird, but hey, dude, I'll take it. And then everyone was immediately jumping to the conclusion, saying, hey, look, they've acted, right? Since the layoffs, they've started marketing again. They're actually going to try and sell it. And then the head of marketing, right, he just says, no, this has been in the works for 6 months, right? Or nearly a year in the making, right? And everyone's like, oh, well, I guess we're dumbasses, you know what I mean? It's just, this stuff takes time, right? It takes a lot of time to kind of get these changes actually visible, right? Actually getting into them.
By the way, the last fiscal quarter, ArenaNet made more money than the previous one. Just a little bit, but they actually made a higher profit this past fiscal quarter than the previous.
No, and all the doomsaying about Guild Wars 2, I actually think the game is doing really well. I mean, obviously, again, I'm not actually in there keeping the books, so I don't know for sure, but I don't know, dude. I think their business model is so sound, right? Just release those mount skins.
Mounts.
People eat that. A new mount. Dude, they must be like, oh, dude, we eat well tonight when this patch comes out, boys. Goddamn. When they sell... Dude, and by the way, they've gone for a really high IQ strat here. It's a dragon. You know what people like? Dragons, okay? Game of Thrones, Guild Wars 2, people like dragons. There's a dragon mount now. You can ride a fucking dragon.
It was probably originally a moth. And then they were like, oh, we got to change it to a dragon. The original concept was probably a fucking gross moth. Yeah. One of the mascots was it got dust on you.
You know what? I would love to ask them if the wall climbing somehow, I'm wondering if that tech originated with the spider that they refused, that they didn't go.
Yep, I guarantee it did. I guarantee that was the conception.
It's because the spider was too scary, right? That's the problem with it.
Well, people don't like spiders.
Yeah, some people have the spider phobia. It's
I kind
understandable.
of wish there was
They've got
a
8
spider.
legs.
I get it.
You'd
I
try
mean,
to
there's
scare
people that are
with it.
afraid of everything, though. Like, how are they picking and choosing who to cater to?
That's true.
I'm afraid of clowns. Don't make a clown mount.
Well,
They already made Scarlet. That's
Dude.
basically a clown.
You're afraid of clowns? Is that why?
No, not really.
All right,
Yeah, well, I mean,
everybody,
I was
PM
gonna- yeah.
Inc.'s clown picks.
I mean, I was gonna say,
Real
dude, like
creepy clown pick.
I mean, you must be terrified playing Guild Wars 2 if you're afraid of clowns, dude. But you just everywhere you go, you're gonna see a massive army of them, dude. I mean, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
that's why I don't raid.
Yeah.
At MMO Inc.'s clown, all your clown picks. Tweet at them.
Look, apparently there's a lot of new code in the mount, and I think, well, because it's got the one thing that is brand new about it. It has this kind of like jet. It's got like a fuel meter, right? Like the jet fuel meter, and
Juice.
they got the juiceometer, how far up and down it can go. So it's obviously it's a very different mount to how everything else is, right?
By the way, I wasn't trying to imply that they just like took the spider and made it a dragon, but I wouldn't be surprised if the wall climbing originated with the spider.
Well, I mean, maybe the idea, maybe the concept of it,
Some form of it, you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that's entirely possible. I mean, it doesn't really share that many features with it though. I mean, it kind of latches on and jumps, right?
Right. Yeah.
And actually, to their credit, I was kind of thinking like, what's the next mount gonna be? Like, what are they gonna do? And you know what? It is actually a different idea, right? It does have its own niche, right? It very much has its own niche to do its thing, right? So
can I get a dead Arene mount? Yeah. Can I get the dead Arene skin?
Dude, what the hell, man? Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Come on, I'll pay $25 for it.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, well.
They could call it the Wilted Dragon mount.
Wilted Dragon mount, man.
Wilted Dragon.
Yeah. Dude, people love these dragons, and this is going to be really good for the bottom line on this episode. Like people are going to get in on that action. It's funny how they went from anti-mounts being at their #1 income. Were they ever anti-mount? I don't think they were.
They were anti-horse.
Yeah, not necessarily.
I don't know why they don't. I love horses. Why don't they like horses?
It's just not part of Guild Wars lore to have.
It's like in the art, but they don't really exist in the world.
Yeah. Oh, the sniff ability was going to be on the skimmer.
Wow, that's cool.
Interesting.
That's cool.
So that now that's Warclaw.
That's cool behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. You know what, Ben? I'm. No one appreciates sniff. Like sniff is like the sleeper OP
I love
ability.
sniff.
Sniff is like the sleeper OP mount ability, man. That's actually so insane. It's so strong. Okay, but people they don't use it. Like the sniff does not get appreciated as much as it deserves, right? I don't know. The mounts are really, really good in this game, and to be honest, like when ArenaNet really put their effort into something, you got to give them credit. Like they 100% deliver, and this is where this kind of conflict between me and ArenaNet really comes down to, and perhaps a lot of the more veteran players. Like we know they can achieve great things, right? To kind of round things off, and not to go too much into the depression. We're gonna spin this positive, guys. Don't worry, okay? But when I'm gonna be playing through the story on Tuesday, I'm going, damn, dude. Is actually really cool, I may not particularly be like mega hype about the actual story itself, and the actual like direction of the actual tale of the epic dragon story. I mean, it's okay, right? But it's it's not my favorite lore in the entire world. But when it comes to the execution, I bet the instances will be fun to play. I bet there'll be some kind of spectacle. I really like the cutscenes in this game and the way the animations are done for all that stuff. I think it's really well done. Like the delivery method for the story is great, right? I really like it. It's the same with the mounts, right? Like mounts are not something that I particularly really care about at all. I've never actually bought a mount skin ever. The only mount skins I've had have been gifted to me, and I don't. And I am the kind of player who I will find myself walking places because I just forget to mount up. I'm a bad Guild Wars 2 player, guys. I'm sorry. I admit it. I'm bad. But
as much as I dislike it, I use the rabbit the most.
Yeah,
or Springer, or whatever the heck.
Really? Why? Yeah. Why the Springer?
It's not as fast across the land, but there's so many times where it's easier just to jump over something or jump up to something that I don't really need the other mounts that often.
Yeah, like when I go to Dragon Stand, I just skip over the invisible walls on the Springer and go right to the end and AFK
There you go.
until the Zerg shows up.
How
The Springer's
is
really good for that.
how is the sky scale going to interact with invisible walls?
He can climb them.
Not well.
Magic.
Because there is a certain level of power creep on this mount, right? If that makes any sense, right? And I believe they're actually buffing the scrap. The scrap.
Can you mount the sky scale in midair the way you can with the?
I think you can
Griffin?
train a mastery to be able to do that. I think.
I imagine you won't be able to grip to an invisible wall.
Why not?
Because
Oh my
what
God,
happens?
That would be great if you could
what-
climb up an invisible wall.
What happens on a Griffin when you hit an invisible wall? You just lose altitude like real quick, right?
Yeah,
you stop.
But you can't climb on. But the sky scale can climb on the walls though.
Well, but it's invisible. It's not really a wall.
Well, it's still a physical thing in the game, though. I wonder how it's programmed. That'll be fun. It is going to be a mount that's a bit OP, I think, because the ability to fly and gain height is very, very strong, especially with the endurance. How does the endurance refresh mastery work with that, actually? Does it give you your fuel back? Or does it just give you your dodges back? That's actually a fun meme. Man, oh, dude, there's going to be
I think it just gives you your dodges. I don't think it gives you your...
man. Map breaking is
rocket
going to
fuel.
be... It's going to be so fucking OP, dude. Like the
Dragon juice.
Yeah, the map breaking with this is going to be crazy. They're actually buffing the bunny as well, right? The Springer.
What?
Its jump ability will be faster.
Yeah.
To charge up or whatever, it'll be faster.
Yeah, but to compensate for the sky scale, having a little bit of overlap with it, I suppose, right? Like this kind of thing that's able to ascend, climb.
When can I just do something to combine all the mounts into one mount?
Put them all in the Mystic Forge and get like the Omega mount.
It can
Omega
do
mount.
everything. It's like a horrific amalgamation of
got
everything.
Springer
right?
feet and wings and the raptor head.
The brain and the jar mount. Like it's just like a ball.
It's just everything, dude, right? It's got loads of wings, loads of limbs. It's a chimera. It's just going crazy. It has every special action ability. You can dive on people and finish them like the Warclaw, right? So it's in World versus World, and you can jump off a keep and just like everyone lands on them and just smash into them and insta finish them. There you go. Now that will be some gameplay.
ArenaNet, I'm going to give you some free. I'm going to give you some free product placement here.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. Right, let's go.
You should start selling a dragon juice drink. Just get it out there. Guild Wars 2 all over the can. Play for free. And call it dragon juice. Come on, let's
casual
make it
gamer fuel.
I don't know, dude. They got
yes. Don't say I don't know. Yes, make it happen.
How did the? Can you remind me how the bubble tea promotion went for them? How did that go?
No. Forget about that. Dragon juice. Put Guild Wars. You know what? Put Japanese all over it. Americans love things with Japanese on it. So just put some Guild Wars 2 Japanese writing. Play for free. GuildWars2.com on the can or something. And call it Dragon Juice. There you go.
Dragon Juice.
Get your Dragon Juice energy drink for Guild Wars 2.
Knowing the Guild Wars 2 community would be like an Arby's sandwich that comes with like a dipping sauce that's called Dragon Juice. And each wrapper had like...
I feel like, just, I don't know, like... just seems like it's got a few connotations there. You can't be calling it Dragon Juice. I mean,
why not?
Ah, no.
Listen, just because your mind is dirty doesn't mean the rest of us can't enjoy some Dragon Juice.
Oh, yeah.
You're like pouring it all over your face.
Yeah.
Fresh squeezed Dragon Juice.
Freshly squeezed.
Do you squeeze it with both hands, or is it a one-hand deal?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. Let's see. Season 5.
They can make it a Slurpee flavor.
Season 5, okay? Dragon Juice is there, but you know what else is supposed to be coming? World versus World alliances, okay? Okay, right, guys. Let's poll the chat. I'm gonna poll the chat. Chat, you guys, I know you're 140 IQ. You need to make this call. Are alliances coming in 2019, or is it going to be 2020 at this point?
2020.
Let's go. Let's fucking go, boys. What year? Guess the year, guys. Guess the year. 2022. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Okay.
2027.
2050. Okay.
2119.
The year 3000. Cancelled. Okay. Never.
It's not canceled. They're definitely working on it.
Yeah, because there are other game modes, guys. Okay, there are other game modes for this game. It's not just about living story and raids and stuff like that. We have those too. And the features that are supposed to be coming are going to be it's going to be Swiss tournaments, right? Which is for PvP, and alliances, and a bit of a rework for World versus World. Now, you would assume that would come with somewhere in Living Story, although it might come packaged separately. I think ArenaNet have learned not to package everything in one go. It's a little bit weird to do that. But do you think there's any chance of a bit of a feature pack kind of thing, right?
Between the two seasons?
Yeah, between
that
the
would be the
seasons.
ideal
Yeah.
time to do that.
Yeah. So
you could release build templates too in the same patch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And gear inspect feature? Yes.
Yeah, gear.
Make it happen.
Gear inspect. I don't know.
Gear inspect.
Make
it a checkbox that you have to opt into. You have to opt into the gear inspect.
But then that will actually cause actual elitism, though.
Because I will tell people opt in, or else
you're getting
opt in or kicked.
But just opt in. Come on.
I mean, actually, that wouldn't be terrible, because if you don't want to opt in, you have that choice, right? And if people are going to say you have to opt into raid, is it really that bad? If you're a raider, if you want to complete the raids, do you really have a problem with people inspecting your gear? I don't care. Go ahead, look at my gear.
I only care. I wouldn't care about. I wouldn't even call people out, but I want the humor of seeing what they're doing. Like, people's gear is incredibly bad, unbelievably bad in pugs, and I just want to laugh. I don't want to
Wow.
That's why they won't. That's why they won't.
I don't want to shame them. I don't want to be like, "Hey, you're a piece of shit. Like, get out of my group." Like, no, but I want to. I want to be able to go, "Oh my god, this guy has 5 different minor runes and no sixth rune. He's got like an empty piece of armor with no rune in it." Like, that's what I want to laugh at. That would be great. Yeah, I want to see the blue trinkets. I want to see the guy that doesn't have a back piece.
Yeah.
I want to see the guy who's yelling at the group because the group DPS sucks, but he's wearing like green weapons. Like, that's the guy that I want to see.
Now, I do think like Vanathoris is saying that people want to see like what skins you have applied. I do think a lot of people want to see that, actually.
I think that would be kind of, you could definitely get away with that. You could definitely get
efficiency sort of can do that, but there should just be a built-in armory. Like in the Guild Wars 2 should have an armory page. Like,
I think a lot of these features are in a way like the least of their worries. Though, like this is that's the icing.
But build templates are for sure, and like alliances are, and Swiss. So like that would be a great feature pack to roll out.
Yeah, it would.
Along with like maybe like cooking and dueling 500, cooking and dueling 500 in the same patch. Like that would be an epic pack.
It would be. I wonder if there's any. I wonder if there's any chance of that. Right, like there is. There's going to be a bit of a break. Right, there will be this time between seasons. Or do you think it would just be straight? Do you think it would just be 3 months from now? Like it will be.
Yeah,
you're going to get episode
Mike Z has made it sound like multiple times it's just going to roll right into the next season without much of a break.
Okay, and on top of that, then, do you think we're going to have a bit of a teaser for what's to come? For example, do you think we're going to see new elite specializations, that sort of thing? Is that going to be in the mix here? Is that going to be on the table here? Is there going to be an expansion? Right, these are all really big questions. Like, where do you guys see the game going from now? Because I used to be a really big optimist about this. Okay, but I actually think that ArenaNet finally got me good. I think it's just this is as far as it goes, right? In my opinion.
You're thinking no more X packs ever again.
I don't see things going further than they are, right? If that makes any sense.
I see the Korean overlords wanting that X pack because they make juicy dollars every time.
Big spike.
X pack costs $40 million to develop and makes $80 million of revenue, so they like that math. They about it.
Yeah, and then there may be an expansion, but I don't see it for.
I hope. My hope is that if I can be super optimist, is that season 5 is a mini season, like 3 episodes, and it's sort of like a bridge to the next X pack that they're rushing to do after the other projects fell apart.
I mean, I wish, right? But I don't see it, to be honest. I genuinely wish that was the case, but I struggle with it. I do, I'm afraid, struggle with that happening. I think it's going to be Living Story season 5. It's going to take a year and a half to get through that minimum, and then maybe there's an expansion after that. That's probably what I see. But I'm not even sure about. Yeah, I think they'll do an expansion. I think you know what is really scary to me though, guys, is that I think pre layoffs they were never going to do an expansion again. I would say actually probably. And it was just going to be Living Story forever because they had their other projects coming through, and that's fair enough,
Yeah.
That's fair enough. I don't even disagree with that decision necessarily. Actually, new IP is new IP, right? At the end of the day.
So Kieran asked in chat, let's be honest, how successful have the last 2 expansions been? They've been enormously successful. Financially, they were insanely successful. They
didn't even advertise Pathfinder.
Like if you just look at the month that the X packs came out, those are the 2 biggest revenue months they've ever had besides launch. Like, fantastically successful.
Yeah, and it's not just about money, right? Because it is a chance for them to advertise and bump it. And again, I think they could have done a better job with Path of Fires. For me, Heart of Thorns was sort of the heyday, and I know that that expansion by the players wasn't initially well received, but they did do some patches afterwards that made it much better. But you guys are partners. You remember what the lead up to Heart of Thorns was like?
ArenaNet was doing frenzy. People were very hyped. Like, as hyped as you could possibly be.
Yeah.
They were going to different conventions, and Mike O'Brien and Colin Johansson were doing their big speeches on stages, and they had tons of live streams with different partners working together to talk about raids, to talk about the maps and whatever was going on. And they had a ton of teaser trailers and stuff to make content for. Bogotter got his whole Foley thing started because they were releasing like the Dragon Hunter trailer and so forth. And Path of Fire didn't have that same level of interaction, unfortunately, but all of that stuff is great for the game to say Guild Wars 2 is still alive, we're still around, fresh content, come get it.
That's exactly what an expansion does, right? Like, it puts you back on the map, right? And it's in a way you can kind of use it as a fresh start, that kind of thing, right? Because there's of course the recent. Have you guys saw Asmongold watch Jaws video and talk about Guild Wars 2 a little bit? So the community, the MMO community. Oh no, just thinks that Guild Wars 2 is a hard casual, zero content game. Like, that is what the impression is of Guild Wars 2 in the outside world. Okay? Now, on the inside world, we know that isn't the case. Okay? We know that's not true. Okay, well, maybe the casual thing, but the other stuff, right? There is content, there is in-game content. The game is very much alive. Okay, the player base, okay, is actually a lot bigger, okay, than the outside players actually think. There's a lot of people who play Guild Wars, a hell of a lot of people who play Guild Wars too, right? So it's just an expansion pack is in a way you can get out there and say, yep, we're here, we've got content, right? We've got some endgame dungeons, we've got some fucking raids, okay? We've got PvP, we've got world versus world, there's loads of players, we're back, okay? We're back in the mix, we're going crazy, and that can really happen, and that's why an expansion pack could be really good, but to be honest, I have a little bit of fear for this because I just think it might just take so long, right, to actually get there that I just feel like there aren't going to be a lot of hardcore players left over by the time it happens, right? I mean, like, waiting like another 1.5 years for an expansion. I mean, damn, dude, that kind of sucks, right? Like, for some new elite specs, you know. I mean, in that time before the expansion, we're probably only going to get another, well, optimistically, one more raid, right? Wing 8. And I'm not even sure if we're going to get that. We might have to wait until the next expansion to get the next raid. Oh no! I mean, the disaster, boys. Absolute fucking nightmare, dude.
Yeah. That's why that's why season 5 has to be a mini season to like for it to make sense on a time scale. Like, if they do 5 episodes or 6 episodes of season 5, like, that's an X-Pack 3 years from now. Like, there will not be much community left in 3 years if they don't come out with an X-Pack sooner than that. So it just has to be a mini season, I would guess.
I mean, the only problem with that is I don't know that they were. I'm almost sure that they weren't developing an expansion, you know, until perhaps recently. And even then, that might be wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the plan, and this is pure speculation, I don't know how the inside of ArenaNet works. I don't know what their plans were like. I think that they were going to launch this secondary IP or this secondary game or whatever it was supposed to be I think the plan was for 2019, and then they were to shift developers off of that back to Guild Wars 2 to work on an expansion. Obviously, that didn't pan out the way that they wanted, so now it's a little bit scramble mode.
Yeah, and this is something that we found out, you know, at the times of the company restructuring, is that Guild Wars 2 is effectively on the back burner for quite a long time, right? While other projects are in the work. So if there is an expansion, then the work on it realistically has probably only just begun, relatively recently, of course. And that means that it's going to be a long way out. And I hope they don't rush it. If there is going to be an expansion, I really hope it isn't going to be rushed and it is going to be content rich. Path of Fire was promised to be a content-rich expansion. Unfortunately, yeah, maybe not so much. And I think the approach of just releasing maps with it, I actually think doesn't work at all, right? I don't know. I think you've got to. I think it has to be released with some changes to World versus World, with some changes to PvP, and you've got to have some endgame PvE as well. Like, when you release the expansion, I think you've just got to say, you know what? Drop in like a few raid bosses, like maybe a few little solo instances. Drop in a hard meta event. Drop in a fractal, okay, maybe with a challenge. No, okay, that'll never happen. But just drop in a fractal as well. Hell, maybe even make some kind of new content. Like, we're talking about this solo content. Sounds great, right? It works for ESO. It can definitely work for Guild Wars 2. People really like Queen's Gauntlet. It can 100% work, right? That you can have solo content in this game. I think you can get that down. And people didn't really complain that much. Did people complain that much about Queen's Gauntlet? I don't think so, right?
I think just the queue system, because you had to queue up in line.
Yeah,
that was run all the time. Damn, dude, like how far we have come,
Yeah.
right? I mean, wow, what a meme, you know? See, it's funny to me that people don't complain that much about Queen's Gauntlet, because a lot of those guys are kind of a bit they're not that challenging, especially once you know the trick. And I guess you don't need to be like amazing at the game, but I don't know. I feel there's a certain level of skill there. There's a level of skill there that isn't really present in some raid bosses, even, right? Like, a lot of raid bosses are a lot more face roll than that. So I don't know. Maybe
because the Queen's Gauntlet bosses, generally you had to like at least dodge one attack in order to survive.
Yeah, and the really good thing about it was that you could ramp up the difficulty if you wanted. Like, I have really, really fond memories of trying to do it on Turiosa, right, with all gambits enabled. That was actually a lot of fun, right? It was a challenge too, a genuine challenge, right, to get it done. And yeah, I got there in the end, obviously, but it was good. Right? It was actually a really good experience actually to try and beat that boss down, boys. Yeah, I think just when the expansion comes, I think just don't rush it. Like that's what needs to happen. It feels to me that every expansion for Guild Wars 2 has been rushed so far. I think Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns, whether that's pressure from the Korean overlords or just I don't know, just working to really strict deadlines or something within the company, but the expansions just have not panned out perhaps exactly as they've wanted, right? I don't know. I don't know, Kevin.
What's unfortunate is I feel like if there was a PTR of sorts, a test server, then a lot of these problems with the and I know it's an expansion, so it's probably unlikely to get a test server and so forth, but I think a lot of these issues, the problems that were persistent in Heart of Thorns and now Path of Fire, I think the community would have given them feedback and they could have changed it before an actual launch.
I mean, I don't think it even needed that. Like, Path of Fire would have had replayability if bounties were made to be worth doing. Like, you should be able to go on the LFG, find the bounty train, join the commander, and follow him around doing bounties for an hour or two and feel like you got reasonable rewards or some kind of progression from that. But bounties are just hard garbage in terms of like the rewards you get. Plus, the way they were tuned is like they scale up like to be actually like super cancerously unfun. Like if you had like a 5-man group with like a fractal team comp, you can like really have fun with the bounties. But when you get like a 50-man Zerg, it's just like AoE hell, and the things are HP is like super up leveled. But bounties just aren't worth doing. Like if you would like do bounties and like each legendary bounty dropped like the equivalent of like 1 crystalline ore, so at least you could say, well, this is a fun way to farm like for my legendary. Like you can do Dragon Stand and get 50 ore, or you can do a bounty train and get 50 ore. Like that would be super fun. Like a lot of the game is on timers. So like in terms of like meta events, this like bounties are one of the few things that like you can hop into and hop out of whenever, and there's no timer like controlling when you get to have fun.
Okay. Yeah.
But that was it. Like that was one of the selling points of POF, is that like the bounty system was like the repeatable content, but it just didn't have a reason to repeat.
Yeah. And well, open world is really tricky, right? Like the trouble with a lot of it is that the reason you do it is purely for the reward, because the gameplay doesn't feel that engaging, right? I think it is a bit too auto-attacky, and maybe I'm just an elitist old man, but I think that people, even the casual players, would genuinely enjoy all of this stuff more, and you'd be motivated to do it more if it was actually a little more engaging and required you to play the game, okay? Guild Wars 2 open world content is effectively just hard auto-attacking, okay? And in fact, when you're skill lagging, that's all you can do. All you can do is auto-attack at that point. But the bounties are going to be more entertaining, right? And people would enjoy them more if you can increase the rewards, but also just make them more fun as well. And I don't know, the bounty system in general, I understand what they were trying to do, to give a lot of, you can get into the action immediately, and there are these bosses out there in the world that you can just fight. But I do think that, I don't know, like the RPG element of the game is important as well. And I think that's where Guild Wars 2 and Path of Fire in particular really falls down, right? They're just these disconnected random events, right? It's just, you just teleport and run around and kill them, and there's no real context to them at all, right? They're just these bosses that are just there, and you just kill them, and then there you go, you did the bounty, right? And that's it. And I don't know, I think the world building has actually fallen down a little bit for Path of Fire, which maybe I'm a hardcore role player, and not a lot of people really think about that, but I don't know. I think it's where it really does fall apart. Really, I think the Guild Wars universe, it doesn't draw you in. I don't think it's as immersive, right? Okay, it's not as immersive.
I just have to say that pocket raptors are a gift from the gods. So you should enjoy them.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, they are good. You know, Pocket Raptors, that's what a
Should have
real
had
game is, dude.
Pocket Beetles.
Pocket Beetles.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
eat
there
your
you go.
flesh.
Just copy paste that shit. Copy paste it. Imagine ArenaNet would combine bounties with the Shard Instance current event, making bounties into mini raids. Dude, that would be so sick. That would be ultra high energy, dude. Okay, ultra high energy.
Just it's funny. I had an idea one time. I think I might have put it in the partner Discord or something that they should do a Pocket Raptor finisher. You finish somebody, and all the Pocket Raptors come out and eat the person. Ruby actually loved that idea, but never seen the light of day. Sadly.
Yeah.
They've really dialed back the finishers. You don't see a lot of finishers on the gem store.
I don't think they sold very well. Kind of like mail carriers,
Yeah. I guess it's just maybe they take a lot of development time as well to generate a finisher. It's a lot of animation.
I just think that they didn't really sell very well, and so they moved on to something that sells better.
Yeah.
RNG dies and
nobody plays PvP, right? So no one ever sees the finisher.
Well, and they tried to remember. Was it Heart of Thorns where they tried to add that you could finish enemies or whatever? A couple of them.
Yeah. This was introduced in Nightmare Tower, right? It was an interesting mechanic as well. I'm surprised they didn't keep it, actually. Especially if you had... This was something that they could have really made...
Yeah, they could have sold more finishers to PvEers if they made finishing people relevant in PvE.
It's also a mechanic that they could have done to make PvE a lot more interesting as well. Like, this was a big thing in Guild Wars 1. Like, the enemies would res each other, right? If you didn't kill them quick enough, or if you didn't shut them down, right? They would actually start reviving each other. I don't know. Guild Wars 1 in terms of like enemy design and mob design was... I don't know how they were able to come up with it, but in my opinion, it really was a bit of a stroke of genius, honestly, like the way that system actually worked. The enemies would have like proper compositions as well that were using abilities.
Player skills with meta comps.
Yeah. It was a really big brain design decision, and if the enemies in Guild Wars 2 had played around the down state as well, they would go over and revive each other. You could punish that by CCing them or AoEing them while they're trying to revive, stuff like that, manipulating down state. Or if they try and finish you as well. I don't know, like that. I think that could have been pretty cool. Yeah. I think that would genuinely be a really, really cool thing to have in the game, right? Like, so you'd have to actually play the fucking game and have a bit more interactivity with the NPCs. It would have made it. You could have made it challenging, but I guess it just didn't work out, right? I guess it was just didn't work out, so they didn't go for it. But yeah, that's been around for a little while. I guess it's raid bosses finishing you as well, dude. Like that, yeah. Oh, Doom stomps you. Well, I mean that kind of
cuts off your head.
That does already kind of happen in raids to a certain extent, because some abilities will just destroy you, right? Like you just get one shot. You just get farmed. That might happen, but I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Not very, but it would make some areas different and fun. Yeah, I agree. And it could be something you could do for some of the more challenging maps, like the elite areas, the elite zones. Oh yeah. The Vindicators stomp you, like in Fractals you still get stomped, don't you? Actually, yeah. The Avengers, whatever they're called, like the Fractal Vindicators.
You don't
Avengers.
Interrupt them.
Yeah, they'll stomp your ass, which I think is good. It punishes you for going.
They should have finishers. I should just get stomped and see a little.
Oh, when you get stomped by them, it shows your finisher, right? That would be pretty sick. Imagine if you had to finish trash mobs in order to kill them because they res back up in raids. Oh man, that would be fun, and that would be a fun meme sometimes. Damn, dude, that would be a clown fiesta. Holy shit. I imagine like all the ghosts on Gorsel just rezzing themselves. All the bandits on Sabbath are like rezzing themselves up and then kicking you into the flamethrower. That would be fun, actually. No, people would hate that. Let's be honest here. That would be a big meme. I don't know. Oh my goodness. But do we have anything else to talk about? Let's see. Wait, was there anything else I was gonna say?
I'm excited for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
Yeah. You know what?
I guess we'll see where the story...
I really do want to end on that note, or at least move towards the end on that note. Whatever we have said here, there was a little bit of memeing. But no, I am genuinely really excited. Actually, genuinely really, really excited for what's going to happen there. I will probably enjoy. I'm definitely going to play through the story. I'll definitely enjoy it, right? It'll be fun. But I don't know. I just really hope we get some leaks, we get some leaks going on, like what's going on in Season 5. We get in some elite specs. Maybe they tease something like that. Maybe we get a forum. But yeah, hell, I would fucking take a big-ass website blog post, okay, telling us about what's coming up. Maybe just that's coming, right, okay? Because I don't expect them to drop it on the same day. But hell, if they said, yeah, guys, stay tuned, we're gonna let you guys in on what's going down in Tyria, okay? In say like the next.
I mean, they kind of did that,
right?
Right? Like, so you had that post of like, here's what we're doing.
Well, yeah.
Here's what we want to do. Here's what we want to do, but don't expect it.
They didn't really. I
mean, they're not going to give you a timeline.
Details. Well, I want the timeline though. I want to know like what's coming up next.
Yeah. I know. I get it.
Yeah. I want to know about elite specs, dude. I want to know about content, right? I mean, it was a really great post by Mike Z. Don't get me wrong, and it was really cool to know, like, oh, dude, they're doing legendary runes and sigils. That's fantastic, right? But I want to know about some actual meat. Let's talk about content, right? Unless that is the content. If that is the content, then, well, I mean,
more of a feature.
There you go. Yeah. I know because there's a big difference in content and features, right? Like mounts are great. Okay, but you need something to be doing with your mount, right? And I think that's what Guild Wars 2 is kind of lacking. It's lacking some of that.
Look, they gave you beetle races. What else do you want?
Beetle races were fun, actually, as well. Shame they nerfed all of them.
Yeah.
Shame they hard nerfed it because people were trash at the game and couldn't do it.
I wonder who won the car.
Who did win the car, actually?
I didn't see an announcement. Like,
probably like the teenage daughter of the NCSoft CEO. Like, what a coincidence! She won.
Okay. That's a good point, actually. Sokos won the car. Sokos. Anyway, no,
just win traded.
I am really, really excited, dude. I'm really excited. I want to know what's going to happen at the story. What's going to go down, okay? Who was right? Who was wrong? I mean, I basically said every prediction, so I'm just by default right. Feels good, man. Okay, so there's no real losing for me, and that is a very good thing indeed. I like it. I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be good. Of course, I won that raid, dude. Let's go. Let's get that raid coming through. Hopefully it's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks would make sense, but then, to be honest, I am kind of feeling 3 or 4. For the raid, I would predict I'm going to go ahead and say June 4th is the raid. It's going to be May 28th or June 4th. That's what it's going to be.
That's bad.
Yeah. May 28th.
I was off on the last one. I said May 21st for the story, and that was completely wrong. So, last week in May. I don't know.
Yeah, I think last week in May or first week in June. If it's later than that, that is really depressing. If it was say a month from this patch, that would kind of suck. If it's any more than a month, and then we're getting into like Pepe Hands territory, boys. Like oh, that's where it starts to get pretty bad and pretty depressing, I guess. But hey, I'll be. At the end of the day, boys, I'm gonna be grateful no matter what. Okay, like no.
That's sad.
Well, look, dude, I have embraced the way of the casual. I know you have too, Nike. This is, I mean, we can talk about this a little bit. Like, I am embracing the way of the casual. I am starting to not care. I finally become Zen. Okay, this is what happens to everyone within Guild Wars 2, right? You just go,
welcome. Welcome to the casual lifestyle.
You just stop giving a fuck. And you know what? I cannot wait to play this game more casually, right? It's actually unbelievable. I can't believe I'm ever saying that, right? But nothing is gonna make me happier is when I finally have another game that isn't fucking dog shit to play. Okay, this is the thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. No. No. I think maybe that I didn't explain that correctly. I'm saying Guild Wars 2 is not dog shit, okay? But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Guild Wars 2 is like one of the real, okay? Guild Wars 2 is one of the non-dog shit games. The very few non-dog shit games. That's reality, guys. Okay? But the thing is, it's not enough to keep you going, okay? So I'm just saying, I'm waiting. Okay, I can't wait until I can actually play Guild Wars 2 as it's intended, which is like once every 3 months, then you just log out, okay? Right? Feels good, man. Feels amazing, man. And then you play something else in the meantime, okay? Then you live in the dream. You live in the dream right there, okay? At that point, you're good to go. Woo. Nice. Let's do it. And yeah, I don't know. I really like Guild Wars 2, and this story is going to be good. Hopefully we get some fresh memes. Give me that raid action. Let's go. Let's fucking get in the mix. Yeah, no, it's very positive. No, it's very, very positive, guys. Like you're all getting me wrong here. You got me wrong. What the fuck? Okay, come on, please. You gotta give me something now. Yeah, it'll be good, I'm sure, and I hope the raid is good too. I hope it comes soon as well with challenge modes. If the raid doesn't have challenge modes, the raid is a failure.
The raid will have challenge modes.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it better have. Okay. Yeah.
You won't be able to repeat them, but it'll have challenge modes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the repeatability thing, I'm really in two minds about this. Like, I don't think that we can really complain about challenge modes not being repeatable when nobody is really good enough at them to properly like hard farm them. You know, like the people are gonna practice them because I will force them to for the raid tournament. Okay, they're gonna
Yes.
enjoy it, dude. But I don't know. Like, no one really does them that much, right? Like, no one really does CM. It's depressing how
Pretty much just the cell guilds.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have the practice doing it.
Yeah. Maybe if they were repeatable and profitable, people become good enough of them. Well,
You better rewind 2 hours, Roka.
it's a really weird thing to say that, right? Because like, I think a great example of this is a game like Sekiro, right? Like, do people only do them because they're profitable? I mean, no, of course not.
But that's okay. So that's a hard comparison to make because the entire game is built around that premise.
The entire concept of raids are based around that premise.
No, it's not.
I
it's
think
not.
the concept of raids are, I think, right?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think they are. Unfortunately,
Raids are challenging. They're supposed to be
people want them
challenging
to be.
content, right?
yeah, it's challenging 10-man content, but it's. I mean, depending on who you talk to, it's all relative, right? Raids were not meant to be. They were made to be challenging group content, but they weren't made to be like a punishing experience like Sekiro or what is the other one?
Dark Souls and stuff.
Dark
They
Souls.
were for progression. Progression's supposed to be punishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with only 3 bosses and
I mean,
I don't know. Progression's not really.
I
don't know.
Could, it's not. I mean, Wing 1 progression. It'll never be like that again. Although Wing 5 was pretty close. I mean, it took a week for Doom CM. That's probably as impressive as it's going to get.
Mm. Yeah, well, you never know. They might really whack us with something impressive this time. Who knows?
Nope. No.
I don't think.
Doom CM is
I
gonna
think
be the hardest thing.
Yeah, I
I'll ever
think Doom CM is kind of the limit on the difficulty, but you know, you might get fairly close to it. You never know, right? You might get there in the end. You might get in the mix, but you know, we'll have to see. I don't know. MMORPGs are about farming shit. I don't know. It's I think that the game does have some challenge to it, and I think the challenge is a really important part of it. You know, seriously, I think. I don't know. I don't think I'm alone in this. Like, surely there are some other players who play the game for fun and not just to like try and hard farm, right? Like, I can't be the only guy like that. I'm sure there's plenty.
I think like most of the raid community is doing it for fun because if all you care about was gold per hour, there's better things that you can do. Yeah. So like, there's obviously at least part of the equation for most raiders is fun. Like, you still want to be rewarded for it. You don't want to feel like you're being shit on while you're doing it. But I think most people are doing it because they enjoy the content.
Yeah.
Like, what MMO would you say has difficult raids?
Let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say World of Warcraft, because everyone knows World of Warcraft.
Sure, everybody knows WoW. Why are World of Warcraft raids so difficult?
Because they fuck you incredibly hard if anyone screws up in Mythic, basically for Mythic raids. Let's pretend that Mythic is the same as CM. There's also a strict DPS check as well.
Right.
DPS check is hard, and there's also a healing check. There's a healing check, DPS check, and they're very punishing as well.
Right, but in Guild Wars 2, all that stuff is soft. It's a soft DPS check. It's a soft, like, healing is, you overheal all the time, right?
Yeah, there's no meaningful check at all.
Right, and Dark Glass hits on another thing that in WoW, it's about the gear treadmill, the gear progression. So you need to sort of work up and build your gear. The top guilds manage, right? But generally speaking, you need to kill the bosses over and over and over again to get the proper gear to make those fights a little bit easier and a little less challenging. But basically, in WoW, where other MMOs, the raid encounters have just hard resets, hard kills that if you don't meet those checks, that's it. And Guild Wars 2 doesn't really have much of that.
Yeah, and
even in CMs, right?
The hardest encounters in Guild Wars 2 are the fights that do have some of that, right? Like Doom is a great example. Like you have to do something every 30 seconds or you are screwed, right? Like you will just insta-fail. There's a lot of things that are just hard failures in that fight, and that's why it's one of the best fights in the game, right?
If you want the gear progression experience in Guild Wars 2, when the new wing comes out, you and everyone in your raid group equip rare gear, and
right, people aren't going to do
complete the raid. And once you've killed all the bosses, then you can put on exotic gear, and now you get the fun of doing the CMs. And then once you've cleared the CMs, then you can put on ascended gear and farm the raid. Just do that, and you will have the same experience as WoW, and it would be just as fun.
To be honest, that probably actually would be more fun.
It would be amazingly fun if you could get your whole group to agree to do that.
Yeah, that probably actually would be better than doing it normally, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Hard part's getting 9 other people who
would actually agree.
Want to wipe to bosses in rare gear and go, fuck this. Then you'll have the one guy who cheats and puts on his ascended trinkets because he's wants to be top DPS.
Yeah, he's a bad man. He's like, yeah, dude, I'm doing twice your DPS. Like, whoa, dude, your rotations are so sick. How are you doing that? Insane, right? Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else has changed their gear, and I'm just like, yeah, I changed mine, sure.
Next raid tournament, rare gear only. Oh my god! I mean, that.
but I guess my point is that the CMs need to be those hard targets. They need to have those hard targets and not the game. Raids are. I don't want to say that raids are easy because I think normal raids is fine for most people, but the CMs need to have that next level, right? It doesn't feel like Mythic, but it should.
Mm. I don't know.
It should also be rewarding for that, but
some of them do. Some of them do, in my opinion. I think Doom CM, that feels like a fucking legendary encounter, dude. Like Doom CM and Kadim CM as well, actually. And you know what? Samrog CM and maybe even Demos CM as well. I think Mercer Overseer is also really great. I think a lot of them. I really don't. I'm not going to go ahead and criticize the design of them. I think they're actually extremely well designed fights. I think a lot of the problem with them is, again, they're just not quite punishing enough. But Guild Wars 2 has something that is always going to be a struggle for it in PvE and in raids in general. It's the downstate. Like as long as the downstate exists, it's really hard to make ultra punishing mechanics. Like, unless you have literal instant kills, it's really hard to make the game punishing. Because if you have stuff that just knocks you down, you just get back up again. Like Heal Necro showed how overpowered the downstate is in raids, right? Like downstate is crazy in raids, dude. Like it's actually insane. Like if there was dude, I would love to turn on no downstate for the raid tournament. Like if I could do that, I would do it 100%. Like no downstate would be so fucking high energy. Actually, oh my god, that would be actually good. I would really like that. No downstate in raids. Something like that. Because I don't know, you could kind of do some kind of Guild Wars 1 meme, like Frozen Ground. Like Frozen Ground, you couldn't res people in Guild Wars 1. It was this Ranger Spirit thing you could put down and would deny resurrection abilities, okay? If you could do that in raids, I think that would be really, really interesting, right? Okay? Yeah, 7k barrier per second Necros bounce. Yeah, dude, that's some good shit, dude. Yeah, it's good. I don't know. Like, no downstate would be fun. Because suddenly, do you really want to do you really want to skip do you really want to skip green? Okay, do you want to skip green on Veil Guardian? Because what if someone goes down, say now they're fully dead, right? Like maybe you actually want to do the mechanic now, you know? Like maybe you want to go for that. Yeah. Do you guys want no
Yes,
downs
Ben.
parades?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it sounds like fun, but I think you'd have to kind of design the encounters around that as well, you know, to truly get the best out of it. You know, I think it will be fun actually. It will be good. But I think an event for raids is a little bit less relevant than for something like for PvP and World vs. World. You know, like for PvP and World vs. World, it's obviously a bit more important in a way for that sort of thing. So I'm not sure if it's really necessary. I think it will be fun though, and I'd be really curious to see if raids would be. I think raids would be quite a bit harder like that, and you'd really have to be paying a lot more attention. Actually, you know, suddenly you can't just tank that mechanic because you might go down state, right? And that, oh wait, now you're dead. Okay, now you're fucking dead. I don't know. I think it'll be cool actually. If you want to do it for ELP, we could probably something up. Really? Okay. Now that is interesting.
Let's do
okay,
that.
Ben, let's talk about
have that
actually.
conversation.
Okay, let's actually have that conversation.
That's exciting.
Now that really is exciting, actually. Oh yeah, okay, actually, dude, like, can we?
That's a game changer.
Now that's a pog, boys. Okay, now that is a pog. No, wow. Okay, Ben is actually hard carrying ArenaNet. I just want to point that out, guys. Okay, every game mode is confirmed now. But yeah, okay. ERP rule set is leaked, boys. Okay, it is leaked. That is pretty spicy. Well, well, on that note, on an exciting note, okay, I'm gonna keep you guys hanging. Okay, on that, I think it is time to kind of conclude tea time. Okay, I think we're all pretty hyped.
Is it time to shill?
Yeah, it's time to shill. I think I said let's conclude tea time about half an hour ago, but we
yeah, I know that's my fault.
But we just kept going. You know, we just got back on track. You know, we just got back in the mix. Yeah. Wow. Spicy memes, guys. But anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching. What do you mean, Shilling Time resident sleeper? Okay. What do you mean? Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the tea time. Okay, I'm probably not gonna do an after show today. I am a little bit ill, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try and recover, seeing as I have evaporated into oblivion. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Follow everyone here. Subscribe. Okay, give me that money, guys. Give me that cash. You know you want me to. You know you want to, guys. Hook me up.
Hot cash.
Yep. So just like Man's on stream, he goes for the 6-month resub. That's that cash money, boys. Okay, there's that cash money. And yeah, thanks a lot. And follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, watch all the other tea times. I'm going to start uploading some ATs, I think. Maybe some of the PvP matches, some of the fun ones. While I continuously struggle at eventually finishing Kadeem God. Yeah, buy an account while it's on sale, guys. It's 50% off right now. But anyway, let's see. I've got to tell you guys about these wonderful guests we have here. Okay, so without further ado, take it away, Nike. Okay, been away from Guild Wars 2 for a little bit. Are you coming back? Are you getting back in the mix?
Yeah, I've been ever since the balance patch. I've been playing Guild Wars 2 a little bit more. I'm enjoying it more. It's more fun to play Warriors, so I've been doing that a little bit more. I have no real interest in playing pretty much any other class at the moment, but Warrior's good, so I'll be playing that. And there's a very good chance that I will stream Guild Wars 2 at some point this week. If the new map has what I think it might have, then I will be on to play that, and you'll see me stream Guild Wars 2. And I also have new Warrior Banner Power Berserker guide on tomorrow morning. So if you're in NA, you can watch that and eat your breakfast. So
get ready for that, guys. And also, check out that Zwift content as well.
Yeah, race today.
Zwift.
Fourth time trial. Most competitive PvP game on all the internet.
Cutthroat PvP, Gotta be going crazy, chasing people down. Okay, and in the top right-hand corner, okay, MMO Inks.
Oh man, I've got like a really weak signal right now. Is it okay?
Oh yeah, well yeah, we're roboting out right now, man. I don't know what the hell's going on with Discord. The Discord has been really shitty over the last few days. Actually, I don't know what's up with it, to be honest. Whenever we're in Discord, it's been lagging out like crazy. Okay, wait, I think try now.
Is it better?
Yeah, we're good.
A little bit better. All right. Hi guys, I'm Bick. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/MMOinks. I've also got a YouTube channel called I Am One and I Am Legion. Currently doing 2 series called Minecraft with my Ice Bow and Anti-Raid Rants, where I point out graphic enhancing post-processing software in dev live streams and dishonesty. By the way, check out my referral link. Every Sunday I do a podcast with an unknown percentage of the community that remained for the grind called Visual Wood, where we Skype mines and build bad boots. If you've got all these references, then put a Franker Z in the chat and get crit.
Wow. Get crit is a very old school reference, which you have to be a real old timer to know get crit.
Yeah.
That was courtesy of Zach.
Do you guys remember when, like, here on TeaTime we accidentally had beef with Dante because like Brazil started going crazy on him?
Did Dante show up?
No.
That would be amazing if Dante showed up.
I hosted him one time and he was like, dude, like, you know, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing here? Like, get out of here, basically. He's like flying at me. Yeah.
Wow. He told you to get crit?
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
Dante.
Yeah.
He fucking sucked. I'll call him out. Dante sucked. He never knew what he was talking about. He was just like he was like decently good at video production at a time when no one was. Like, he ripped off all his Patreon followers, completely ripped them off.
Okay.
Fuck him. And his build sucked. And to watch his build videos, you had to watch a 1.5-minute Patreon commercial before he even started talking about the build that you clicked on the video to watch. He sucks.
Wow. Well, that's exposed. I mean, what a way to end it, guys. And so, here we go. Finally, it's me. Follow. I stream every day. It's PvP. It's World vs. World. It's PvE as well. We do it all here, guys, okay? I'll, of course, be playing through the story on Tuesday, going psycho, okay? Going crazy, enjoying the memes, okay? And, you know, sometimes fun things happen, okay? But yeah, be sure to follow everyone here, guys. Inks and Nike and myself. Get in on that action, guys. Subscribe hard. Let's go. Follow on Twitter for the Birdmans, okay? Follow everyone, subscribe, all that stuff. We're hosting now. We're getting the hell out of here, guys, okay? We're done with this shit, okay? We're out, okay? We're angry now. We're fucking pissed, right? So, thanks a lot for watching, guys. We love you all very much, okay? Enjoy the next stream that we're sending you over to, okay? And I will see you guys tomorrow, okay, for some exciting memes, okay? Exciting memes, because tomorrow is the day before. The day before, guys. Holy shit. Insane. Incredible. So, yeah. Get ready for that action, guys. And, yeah. Just you guys have a wonderful evening. And we'll see you guys when we see you. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.